TNN is a service of CBS Cable. Manilow Country, TNN Tuesday.
Why is football played in a small arena so exciting? Because you have a better chance of sitting next to the quarterback's hot wife.
Hi. Hey. Hi.
Arena football. Get it all. Kicks off April 13th on TNN.
It's a sport that takes strength, timing, and agility, but most of all, it takes guts. It's Championship Rodeo from Houston, sanctioned by the PRCA. Sunday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific on TNN.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life, and most of the century's top inventions came from individuals, not companies. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? Are you interested in trying to submit your idea to companies for a good faith review and in trying to patent it as well? If so, Invention Submission Corporation has information to help you get started. ISC is America's largest inventor service firm with over 50 offices nationwide. Call this toll-free number now to see how to get this free information. The information includes forms to assure confidentiality, a form to record and date your idea, plus an informative brochure that explains how to submit your idea to companies through ISC's data bank and how to apply for a patent. Even if you only have an idea for improving an existing product, you'll want to call now for ISC's free information.
The following is a special presentation of TNN Sports.
Welcome, Georgia. On behalf of Discount Auto Parts and AC Delco Parts, gentlemen, start your engine!
Even with a new look for the ASA, it was short track excitement as usual at the season opener in Florida. Fenders banging, bumpers bumping, tempers flaring. Despite the new cars, the new engines, the new tires, and plenty of new faces, it boiled down to 3 of the ASA's best ever, duking it out for the first victory of the new era.
It's great to have, these guys back. Good clean racing and 3 champions, I think, 1, 2, 3.
You think that was exciting? Wait until you see what's going to happen tonight at Lanier. You have a first-time pole sitter, a rookie on the front row, and you got a lot of big guns way in the back, like Lakeland winner Gary St. Amant. The most important weapon here tonight, probably your front bumper, because as Rick Beebe told me a minute ago, this is going to be a slugfest. This is where it all began, a short track on a Saturday night right here in Georgia.
Tonight, the lights of a million short track Saturday nights shine down on an unbelievable lineup of driving talent. The action will be furious, the drama tense, and the short track of your dreams is as close as your TV set. From Lanier National Speedway, just north and east of Atlanta, Georgia, tonight the Discount Auto Parts 300 live on TNN Sports, round 2 of the ASA AC Delco Series National Championship. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin alongside Steve Burns. We are ready to bring you a chilly 300 laps of exciting action tonight. Steve, the first race of the year on a big track by ASA standards at Lakeland, Florida. Tonight, though, a true bull ring.
3/8 mile bull ring, and Rick, it may be chilly outside, but the action, the racing will be red hot. 34 cars ready to cut it loose.
We've got some guys starting deep in the field tonight who are some of the big names. Some names not so well known will start up front tonight. Should be a recipe for exciting action when we drop the green in a few minutes. Let's meet the starting lineup tonight.
Hi, I'm Ricky Johnson, driver of the number 22 Nationwide Auction Systems Chevy Monte Carlo. I want to say hi to my mom and dad in Yuma, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Chad Wood, driver of the number 2 Bakersfield Biscuits Ford Taurus. Looking forward to driving at Lanier Speedway tonight.
I'm Kevin Sawinski, driver of the number 21 LaFavor Racing Monte Carlo. Currently looking for sponsorship. I'd like to say hi to everybody in central Wisconsin and Minnesota.
I'm Dave Senswood, driver of the MCSports.com, number 6 Pontiac. I'd like to say hello to everyone back home in the snow.
Hi, I'm Mike Eddy, driver of the number 88 E-Web 21 Monte Carlo.
Hi, I'm Larry Foyt, driving the number 14 Harris Pontiac. I want to say hi to Robin Kendall in Nebraska. We're rooting for you and racing for you, Robin.
Hi, I'm Rick Beebe, driver of the number 23 AFCO Pontiac, and this is my son Austin. We're ready to go racing.
Hi, I'm Tim Sauter, driver of the number 9 Build-A-Mold Chevrolet. I'd like to say hi to everybody back home and to my wife, Chris.
Hi, I'm Tristan Dupuis, driver of the Freshetta Pizza Pontiac, and I'd like to wish my sister Tangerine a happy 40th birthday.
I'm Greg Stewart, driver of the number 33 Pontiac for Screaming Eagle Motorsports. I want to say hey to everybody in Fort Oaks, North Carolina. Pull for me tonight.
Those will be the first 5 rows in tonight's Discount Auto Parts 300, presented by Janiking. The rest of your Grease Lightning starting lineup. 6th row, Mike Miller from just about 20 miles up the road here in the Janiking Pontiac, and Scott Wimmer from Wisconsin in the Sierra Racing Products Chevrolet. Great veterans Scott Hansen and Don Finetti's Ford will start in row 7 alongside rookie Philip Cranifus in the Mobil 1 Pontiac. The 8th row crew includes John Curley in the Lazy Days 72 and Joey Clanton in the 83 car.
And Rick, as you said, lots of newcomers. John Curley, one of 15 rookies in the field tonight.
Johnny Sauter, part of the LeFevre Racing group of 3 drivers, will start in the 9th row alongside Robbie Pyle, who was very strong at Lakeland in the season opener a couple of weeks ago. And in the 10th row on the outside, 3-time ASA national champion Butch Miller looking to get on track. Had a rough go at Lakeland in his return to ASA competition. The 11th row, IRL star Mark Dismore's son, Mark E. Dismore, in the Herzogs 44. And we know we have to watch out for Mike Garvey in the Tecumseh Chevrolet.
He didn't qualify well, Rick, but he said he has a very fast race car.
And in row 12, the winner of the season opener at Lakeland, the Wins Chevrolet for Gary Saint-Amant, along with rookie contender Buddy Gainey in the Gainey Transportation 53. Cars now that made the show from last night's qualifying race. Dennis Lapman won that event in the 19 car. Tim Taylor lines up in the 13th row. Russ Tuttle will start at the 14th row. One of the issues here tonight, the weather. Warm yesterday, very cold tonight. Bob Diller, in fact, the wind's blowing pretty stiffly at the moment, too.
Well, you can see the AC Delco flags down here on pit road just flying away. It is very cold, but yesterday it was very hot. A very greasy, sunny racetrack with loose conditions. Tonight, though, it is going to be very cold, as we mentioned, and that will tighten up a race car. We'll take this pyrometer and measure the temperature of the track. 44 degrees. That'll be tough for these guys to get a hold of on the setup tonight. Look at this. Johnny Sauter on pit road already. They have the hood up. We'll find out what's going on in a minute.
Wow, that was a familiar sight from Lakeland. They had plug wire problems in that car. Sauter in and out of the pits probably 5 times in the season opener.
Rick, remember at Lakeland before the race started the night before, that team worked till 1:30 in the morning changing motors. So again, problems tonight. We hope he can get it started.
Johnny, one of the famous Sauter family of racing from the upper Midwest. Jay, of course, now the NASCAR Busch Series. Tim Sauter, the defending series champion. Still ready to take the green flag. We'll show you the drivers who did not make the show. Nearly 50 cars here. Gary Sherman, John Silverthorne, Ken Alexander in the Grease Lightning Chevrolet. Wayne Willard, a former track champion here. Terry McDonald Cadieux almost had a qualifying spot locked up. David Bonnet misses the race for the 2nd week in a row.
And Rick, let's talk about what this means. You hate to see any driver, any team go home. But as you said, 50 cars here in Lanier. The 2nd race of this series last year, just 29 cars attempted to qualify, 50 here this weekend.
Part of the situation, of course, with the new GM Vortex spec motors and, of course, the new BF Goodrich radial tires as well. Back downstairs to Bob Dillner.
Hey, Rick, you can take a look at the guys on Johnny Sauter's pit crew with LeFevre Racing right now. What happened here is they were missing a bolt on the power steering. Power steering went, and they're underneath the hood trying to fix that right now to get Johnny Sauter back out on the track. Johnny Sauter scheduled to start in the middle of the pack, 17th starting spot. He has given that up for the moment, of course. The field still on their 5 pace laps before we cut him loose. Not quite ready to go green as yet. Flashing lights still on the Pontiac Grand Prix safety car that heads the field at every American Speed Association event.
Rick, Bob talked about the temperature, the ambient temperature, the temperature on the track. Something we need to keep an eye on. There's a different tire compound than we ran at Lakeland. This is a little bit softer compound. With the temperatures being cold like they are, we need to see if these guys can get a grip on the racetrack.
This is a 3/8 mile bowl, you might say, here at Lanier National Speedway. The banking on the straightaway 6 degrees, 13 degrees in bank in the turns. Had a chance, Steve, to walk the track late this afternoon. It is wide, 85 feet across in the corners. Plenty of room if you get in trouble here. There is a wrench down on the racetrack, we're told, so the safety crew looking for that right now. It's going to take us a moment to round that up and get ready to go green here at Lanier. While we have the opportunity, let's take a timeout. We'll be right back on TNN Sports.
On Monday, it was an eternity away. By Thursday, you could almost taste it. The weekend, filled with possibilities and, oh yeah, projects. Nobody knows where you'd rather be more than True Value. We get you in and out fast with just what you need. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
Forged steel, precision design, and state-of-the-art engineering give it its beauty. But its toughness comes from you. Introducing the Duplicolor truck bed coating kit. Out with the old plastic bed liners. In with the fast, easy way for you to protect your truck bed with a perfect fit at a fraction of the cost. Now you can protect your bed and increase the value of your truck with Duplicolor. Using our exclusive truck bed coating formula and Textra Loop roller, you can apply a protective coating to your truck bed in as little as 45 minutes. Duplicolor prevents rust damage, gives you the ultimate protective liner. It's skid resistant. And best of all, you can do it yourself. For more information about the Duplicolor truck bed coating roller kit, gallon, and spray, call 1-800-310-5313. That's 1-800-310-5313. Call today.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires? Any road you choose. And now we've been ranked best original equipment tire for light truck vehicles and customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Tonight's coverage of the Discount Auto Parts 300 on TNN Sports is being brought to you by BF Goodrich Tires. Take control. Welcome back to Lanier National Speedway in Gainesville, Georgia. I'm Rick Benjamin. Steve Burns is alongside. Bob Dillner on pit road. And we haven't even run a green flag lap yet, Steve. One of the cars putting moisture down on the track, so the track crew laying down some speedy dry in the groove. It's the 67 car, rookie driver Paul Dallenbach, the yellow freight Pontiac from Energetics Motorsports. Paul making his first ever start in a stock car here tonight, trying to make the field at Lakeland. The car wasn't ready. Now they're here.
Yeah, he's the younger brother of Wally Dallenbach, who races on the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, and he's done stunt driving, a little bit of everything. And as you said, he had problems in Lakeland, but trying to get going here tonight.
On pit road, trying to see where the moisture's coming from in that beautiful new Pontiac Grand Prix. Paul, an interesting case because, as you may know, the Dallenbach family's from Colorado. He's a veteran of the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, many victories in the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. And later this summer, some ASA teams are going to tackle the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, we understand. We'll let you know more about that as that event comes closer in the month of July. This track has a tremendous amount of history, part of the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series for many years. NASCAR Busch Series stars came here many times. In fact, there's a guy named Bill Elliott in car number 9. This is from 1988 in a late model stock car event. This an NASCAR Busch Series event in May of 1989. Chuck Bound on the pole in car number 63 there, and Kenny Wallace in the 36. That's Rick Mast in the 22 going around with a little help from Jimmy Spencer. Remember this guy, Ronald Cooper, in Victory Lane in 1989. Cooper, a guy who was a tremendous competitor in the Busch Series for many years, dropped away from the sport a few years back.
Yeah, he had a bad wreck at Dover. Hey, I got a trivia question for you, Rick.
Uh-oh, all right.
The last Busch race here, 1992. Who sat on the pole and who won the race?
My memory's good, but not that good. Come on now.
The pole sitter was Jeff Gordon.
In the Baby Ruth car.
In the Baby Ruth car. And the race winner was Bobby Labonte.
Really? Wow.
Absolutely.
So this track does have plenty of history in the big leagues of motorsport. We're about to write a new chapter here tonight with the ASA AC Delco Series. First appearance of the ASA Cars and Stars here at Lanier. On board the Tecumseh Chevrolet from Mike Garvey. Garvey, 5 times a winner 1 year ago. He starts 22nd tonight out of Lakeville, Minnesota. We'll also have onboard looks tonight. The Grease Lightning camera will be in the 23, the All-Star Racing Pontiac of Rick Beebe and the Rocket Man lines up in 7th spot tonight for Jerry Gunderman on the inside of the 4th row. Also giving us a ride tonight, the 61 car Kevin Conway from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's the USAmeets.com machine. Conway starting back in 29th spot, and that is a Pontiac. Safety crew is in. The lights are out on the Pontiac safety car. The field coming up onto turn 2. We should be set to go green for 300 laps of action on a very chilly night in Georgia. Ricky Johnson is on the pole. Chad Wood is alongside. Kevin Sawinski inside the 2nd row alongside Dave Sensiba. Mike Eddy starts 5th tonight alongside Larry Foyt. We're glad you're with us. Green flag in the air, and we are underway. And it's Ricky Johnson quickly to the lead as they hit turn 2.
And Ricky Johnson, as we talked about in Lakeland, had surgery the day after the race. He had 2 pins inserted in his left thumb. He's holding the steering wheel with the fingertips of his left hand. He said he's in a lot of pain, but he's on the point right now.
National Supercross motorcycle champion, great off-road racer in trucks and in stadium trucks as well. One tough guy at the wheel. Back in the field, national champion Tim Sauter behind Tristan Dupuy's 11th car. That's Sauter in the Build-A-Mold Chevrolet. On the outside, the black 05 is Scott Wimmer. He's a rookie contender, an unsponsored machine. He is a strong late model racer from Wisconsin, all behind Dave Sensiba. At the moment, Sensiba is 6th. 7th spot to Wimmer. Sauter to the outside of the 11th car. He wants 8th, but Dupuy hanging onto the low line. The low line, the quick way around here, you'd think, but you've got to be able to get the car up high on the straightaway to free it up. Up front, meantime, as we watch that battle, that's Ricky Johnson. Sawinski in the 21 is 2nd. Johnson led up until lap 115 at Lakeland when he was passed by Gary Saint-Amant for the race win. Saint-Amant led the last 85 laps 2 weeks ago. And look at Mike Eddy from 5th all the way to 3rd quickly.
Ricky Johnson, this was his first career pole here at Lanier. He has yet to win an ASA race, but he looks like he's in good shape today with, as we said, 2 pins in that left thumb.
Now, this being a 3/8 mile track, 300 laps, just a tick over 100 miles tonight. Thought some teams might be thinking about trying to go all the way without stopping. ASA, though, has instituted a mandatory pit stop, at least one tonight. You must at least come onto pit road for a cup of water, as it was stated in the drivers' meeting. Back in the pack, that's the 5 of Scott Hansen battling for position with Butch Miller. Hansen backpedaling. Here comes Saint-Amant in the 7 to the inside of Hansen to grab the spot. Saint-Amant, the winner of the season opener, the point leader, lining up 23rd. And you're on board with the 1 of Mike Garvey. He's up to 19th, having made several good moves in the early going, working his way up onto the front straightaway.
And Rick, this ought to be a lot of fun because Mike Garvey said he has an excellent race car. He just didn't cut a good qualifying lap. It'll be fun to watch him try and make his way through the field.
Russ Tuttle back in the pack now, working to the inside. Scott Hansen is backpedaling quickly. We expect great things out of Hansen in the Don Finetti number 5, one of the Reichert Ford machines. The 44, Mark Dismore to the inside. Conway in tow. They will both go by Hansen. Hansen's got problems for the 2nd race in a row. He is very slow at the moment. The Crookston Motorsports car, the 40 of Brandon Sperling, started in the last row. He's going to move to the inside and drop kick Hansen back another spot. And here comes Greg Usher in the 45.
And remember, Rick, Brandon Sperling had a great run at Lakeland 2 weeks ago, finished in the top 5, but the financing isn't there just yet. They're looking for a sponsor, desperate. They only have 3 races scheduled right now. They need to get some funding on that race car.
On board with Kevin Conway and the USAmeets.com machine. That's a Pontiac looking back from 23rd to Robbie Pyle in the white number 8. He is 24th. Coming out of turn 4. One car has spun in 4. It's Larry Foyt up high on the racetrack in the Harrah's number 14 Pontiac. I understand his dad, AJ, was headed this way from Martinsville, where their Winston Cup car, the Conseco Pontiac, and Rick Mast failed to make the show for tomorrow's Goodies 500. I understand AJ may well be with us here tonight on the grounds. Larry gets it pointed in the right direction. Started 6th for the 2nd race in a row.
2nd week in a row. That team actually got the test here. He tested for half a day before the season started. We talked to him yesterday before qualifying, and he said he felt pretty good on this racetrack, Rick, really, for having not been on it very much.
So restarting coming up in just a couple of moments. Ricky Johnson will be the restart leader. Larry Foyt tucks in a line with Philip Kranifus and Joey Clinton back there. Pit crews at the ready. We'll be back with plenty more from Lanier.
Discover the spark that brought you together. Go RVing. Life's a trip. Visit an RV dealer or call for a free video.
Keep an eye on the websites your kids are looking at. You make sure your wife's cell phone battery is fully charged. And you haven't missed a day of work in 12 years. So it comes as no surprise that your auto parts are AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. AC Delco Automotive Parts.
From the place you've trusted forever, the brand you can trust just as long, the Bring Ace Home Sale. Ace is a place with a helpful hardware, folks.
It's trash cans and elbows. It's Roller Jam.
I'm gonna hump and pump and blow your fat ass off the track. Meow, come here, little kitty.
Roller Jam, Friday at 9, 8 Central on TNN.
And a reminder for you, always want to experience country.com, TNN Motorsports official website. It's your personal source for all things country, race cars to country stars, and plenty of information on the ASA AC Delco series by connecting to country.com. Full information on TNN's race day, of course, tomorrow as well at 11 o'clock Eastern and Pacific time. Johnny Sauter on the racetrack finally after missing the first dozen laps. Bob Dillner told us at the start of the race they brought that car in on pit road before the green flag. A bolt missing from a power steering pump. They've replaced that. LeFevre Chevrolet, the 01, the Johnny Sauter Murray Motorsports machine is back on the racetrack, but many laps down. Scott Hansen came on pit road in the Don Finetti 5, the structural transport machine. The front tire was down, so they've changed tires on the 5 car, and he is back out. Only 2 tires can be changed on a yellow flag pit stop, or you'll be penalized. Bob Dillner on pit road. What was the situation with Larry Foyt, Bob?
Well, first of all, Larry Foyt, as you saw, did spin. The car's just a little bit loose, and that's pretty ironic for a guy who's so smooth on this racetrack. But right now, you can see the official, if we show our pit camera, talking to crew chief Joe Shear. What happened was ASA assessed Larry Foyt a stop and go because he passed the pace car.
So Larry Foyt will be penalized a bit. He will have his work cut out for him tonight. It's probably going to cost him a lap if he hasn't already missed a lap. Show you what happened. This is coming onto the front straightaway. Larry Foyt in the upper right of your corner. There's the purple car just a little out of the groove, losing it, keeping it off the wall. Here's a look from Mike Garvey's in-car. Going down into the turn. Just looks like he got on the gas a little too early.
Yeah, I don't think anybody got into him on either side, Rick. As you said, I think he just got in there a little bit too hot and lost it.
So we are under caution for the first time tonight.
You know, Larry, a lot of people are saying he has a lot of talent, Rick. He's a 5th-year senior at TCU, Texas Christian. He's going to graduate in May. And when he does, he's going to move back to North Carolina to be near the team. Hey, and you know what, Rick? He gave up spring break.
Wow.
To test. So a dedicated racer.
Absolutely.
If you're going to give up bikinis for testing. Yeah.
He's got his priorities in the right place.
Absolutely. He's a racer. He's a racer.
Ah, there you go. So Larry Foyt back on the speedway. We are still under caution. The track crew checking things, making sure all the materials are cleaned up from turn 4. Back with plenty more from Lanier in a moment.
The way I see it, you either get the best parts for your car or you settle for less. You either find what you need or you find yourself spinning your wheels. That's why you're either shopping at Discount Auto Parts or you took a wrong turn somewhere. Now, some people might say I'm pretty opinionated. Well, remember, I do tend to see things in black and white. Discount Auto Parts, the place to start when you need parts.
You know, they say George's got himself a new ride. Strong, runs good, turns on the dime. Got George so shook up, he's talking about getting that team roping.
Say, what kind of horse is this anyway?
It's a cutting horse.
New Husky lawn tractors from Tractor Supply with up to 22 horsepower and a 46-inch deck. They've even got George Strait out cutting.
It's true, but only on a Husky. Ready to ride now at Tractor Supply Company.
Back live at Lanier National Speedway in Gainesville, Georgia on a very, very chilly Saturday night in April. The ASA AC Delco Series on deck. Second round of the year 2000 National Championship season. Check out one of the hot new shows on TV. See how federal agent Lucky Vanis brings in the bad guys with his high-speed, high-tech big rig. It's 18 Wheels of Justice Wednesday nights at 9 Eastern and Pacific, a big part of TNN's Action Wednesdays.
Hey, Rick, I'm a big Billy D. Williams fan.
I know you are.
You need to know that.
You've got a poster of him, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Green flag about to appear. This is lap 22. Ricky Johnson in the 22 car. That's the Nationwide Auction Systems Chevrolet. He's your restart leader. Kevin Sawinski right behind. Mike Eddy is third. Back in the pack, Sawinski. And Butch Miller right there. There's Miller and Garvey in the one. Sawinski in second, knocking on the door. Ricky Johnson as they come up onto the front stretch. Eddy just watching things back in third. Now he's going to get into the fight. He'll dive low in turn 2, but he can't get a jump on Sawinski. Now he does, going into 3. Sawinski able to close the door. Rick Beebe has moved to 4th in the 23 cars. They arrow onto the front stretch. Chad Wood, the outside pole sitter, rides 5th in the deuce. Tim Sauter is 6th. It's still Sawinski. Ought to be familiar with running second. He ran to the top 3 most of the way at Lakeland. Take a look a little further back. How about Mike Miller? He is on the move in the 18 car. The Janiking machine started back in the 6th row tonight, right behind Tristan Dupuis right now as they battle it out for 9th and 10th.
Rick, interesting story about Mike Miller. You know, he walked away from racing for about 8 or 9 years. He retired, wanted to spend time with his family, he said, help raise his children. A local racer here kept calling him saying, Mike, let's go hot lap. Let's go hot lap. Finally, he said, okay. He made his comeback on this racetrack. He said the uniform still fit. Let's go racing.
He has done a great job since returning to ASA AC Delco Series Championship action full-time a couple of years back. One of the great figures in American short track racing. Bob Dillner, what do they think about the 18 car's performance here in the early going on pit road?
Well, they are pretty happy with the car so far, according to crew chief Carl Hyland. But I have to tell you something, Rick. Of course, they had engine problems at Lakeland 2 weeks ago. What they did is the first practice session here, they actually stayed out for every single lap to see if that same engine they ran at Lakeland would give them problems once again. No problems so far. No problems in that practice session, and they're looking good in this race so far.
Good battle for second spot. Mike Eddy in the 88 car diving to the inside of Sawinski. Eddy, who got caught up in a scramble in Lakeland when he was in contention, parked the car rather than fix it. He says, hey, I'm not racing for points. I came to win. When he knew he had no chance to win, he put the helmet in the truck and headed for the hills. Tonight, though, he is looking like he is ready to score his first ASA win, perhaps, of the new season.
And, Rick, we look at the 21 of Kevin Sawinski starting to back up. I wonder if something's wrong with that car. We're riding on board with Rick Beebe now, looking back at Kevin Sawinski, but he just moments ago was bearing down on Ricky Johnson. Now he's backing up.
Taking a look back, Sawinski's back to 4th spot right now behind Beebe. Up in front, here's Eddy to the inside of Johnson as they work lap number 33, and one car slowing at the inside. Looks like the 61 of Kevin Conway down the 3rd turn into pit road. Down into turn number 3. It's Eddy poking the nose of the 88 car into the lead, and Mike Eddy has grabbed the point. Rick Beebe to the inside. He wants 2nd spot in the 23. Johnson pushes up high in the corner, and Beebe takes over 2nd. So Ricky Johnson gets pushed out of the hot lane of traffic, and he is bumped back to 3rd.
Yeah, and look at the in-car camera there. Here comes Sawinski back up to speed. Wonder if he just got a little bit loose, Rick, but he's right now underneath Ricky Johnson again.
Recalling years ago, we were here for several Busch races. Steve, you mentioned at the top of the show back in the late 80s, early 90s, you could run 2 wide on this racetrack during the bias ply tire days, even 3 wide. Tonight, with the cold temperatures, the new BFG radials, car spinning. Chad Wood goes around here on the front straightaway and brings out the yellow flag. Looks as though the preferred line definitely is down low, especially in the corners, and it's very hard to run in a second groove here. So Wood gets it refired. Nearly passed by the leader, Eddy. Believe he saved the lap there and did not go a lap down, but it's the second caution of the night on lap number 35.
And Paul Dolan back in the 67 did a great job to avoid him because he was sitting here no man's land right in the middle of traffic.
Conway on pit road with the hood up on the 61 car. We mentioned that he had dropped off the pace into the inside of the track. Wood firing up the 2 car after going around the Dwight Yoakam Bakersfield Biscuits Ford. coming by on the low side. Pace car will pick up the leader, Mike Eddy, coming out of the front straightaway. 37 laps into the books of 300 tonight here on TNN Sports, and we are glad you're with us on a chilly Saturday night in Georgia. Plenty of action everywhere. Didn't take long for the leaders to catch the back of the pack here and start lapping cars.
No, and you know, as Bob Dillner said at the top of the show, Rick, that bumper may be the most important part of the race car. And Dave Sensiba there in the 6, as we said, he's got some damage already. Lots of cars leaning on each other.
Show you what happened when Wood came around. This is looking back from the start-finish line to turn 4, and there's Wood. Perhaps a little help there. He's got a little body damage on the right rear corner of the 2 car, right around at the start-finish line. Dave Sensiba's hood apparently just popping up there. It doesn't look like the front end of that car is particularly damaged, but clearly things not as they should be with the MCSports.com Pontiac. 38 laps are complete. It's Eddy and Beebe up front.
Race fans, catch the excitement of NASCAR on TNN. Enter TNN's Red Wing Shoes Work Hard Win Big sweepstakes. You could win fabulous prizes. A trip to see a live NASCAR Winston Cup race, this Dodge Ram truck, or a Polaris ATV. Here's what you have to do. Watch the Winston live Saturday, May 20th on TNN. Identify the position of car number 43, John Andretti, at the end of the 50th lap. Then go to a Red Wing Shoe store for your official entry form. Or send the answer on a postcard with your name and address to TNN's Red Wing Shoes Work Hard Win Big sweepstakes. TNN Station, Box 3582, Southbury, Connecticut 06488. Or enter online at country.com. First prize, a trip for 2 to the MBNA Platinum 400 at Dover. Second prize, a rugged Polaris ATV. And one lucky grand prize winner will be driving a new Dodge Ram truck. Watch the Winston on TNN for your chance to win. Sponsored by Red Wing Shoes, Dodge, Polaris, and Bell Atlantic. Don't miss your chance to enter TNN's Red Wing Shoes Work Hard Win Big sweepstakes.
Davis drops back to pass. He's got Mitchell. Oh!
That was my lamp.
Mom always said, don't play ball in the house.
Arena football. Get it all. Kicks off April 13th on TNN.
What is public service all about? Is it a career or is it something more? How does it benefit my community?
Is it about responsibility?
What can I do as a citizen?
If you're a high school student, Time Warner Cable and C-SPAN challenge you to participate in the Common Good competition. Using C-SPAN or cspan.org, create a project that explores the role of public service in America. 20 students will win a week-long study adventure in our nation's capital, hosted by the Close-Up Foundation. To learn how to enter, ask your teacher, visit the C-SPAN website, or contact your local Time Warner Cable office.
Hear the roar in the distance. Feel the ground begin to shake. A gentle breeze becomes a sudden wind. As a sense of panic fills the air.
What in the world? I can't believe what we just saw.
And in a frenzied rush, WCW Spring Stampede is here. Sunday, April 16th, live and only on pay-per-view.
Still under caution at Lanier National Speedway in Gainesville, Georgia. The Discount Auto Parts 300 tonight for the ASA AC Delco Challenge Series here on TNN Sports. The official ASA pace car, as always, is the Pontiac Grand Prix at the head of the field right now. Mike Eddy in tow as we are under caution for the second time tonight. 41 laps of 300 are complete. Couple of cars on pit road with problems. Bob Dillner, what's the situation down there?
Well, Kevin Conway's been on pit road, and he has a failed ignition box. As far as Chad Wood, you explained before, he got tapped in the rear a little bit. That car was loose to begin with, so when you get tapped in the rear and you're loose, well, that spells trouble. As far as Larry Foyt, he's been in and out of pit road. That car, too, very loose, so they figure they're at the back of the pack. They have nothing to lose. So crew chief Joe Shear brought him in and made a chassis adjustment to tighten that car up.
There was some talk, Steve Burns, earlier on in this day that you could afford here, since it is a short track and race lap speed's about 15 seconds. You might gamble with pit strategy, maybe change 2, change 4 in some cases under green, and be able to make up a lap here.
Yeah, and as you said, Rick, everybody has to pit at least one time. That's an ASA rule. But, yeah, the strategy in this series is so interesting as we're about to go back to green.
Sure are. Restart leader is Mike Eddy. 42 laps are on the board. It's Eddy in the 88 car from Eaton Chevrolet. That's the eweb21.com machine. Right behind him is Rick Beebe in the 23. Ricky Johnson restarts third. That's the blue and white number 22. And there's Sawinski in the black number 21 from the Lefebvre Stables. And how about national champion Tim Sauter restarting fifth in car number 9? Battle back in the pack. This is 6th spot up for grabs. Mike Miller on the inside of Dave Sensiba. Back in 8th, Tristan Dupuis there in the yellow number 11. Greg Stewart on the outside in the white 33 with Scott Wimmer in the 05. All in the mix as they battle for 6th spot. And Sensiba goes around up between turns 1 and 2. Gets it gathered up, gets back on the power. Caution will wave, but Sensible goes around, does a nice job to get that car pointed in the right direction.
Yep, Rick, I was looking right at Tristan Dupuis. He and Sensible wanted the same piece of real estate, and it wasn't going to happen.
Not at this point on this racetrack. So Sensible with that hood popped up, did a little checking while we were away at commercial. Apparently on the initial start of the race, Sensiba had to nail the brakes because he was starting behind Chad Wood's 2 car. Looks like Wood may have had trouble getting up to speed when the green flag came out. Sensiba apparently went under the back end of the 2, and that's what pushed the hood out of shape on that car. The front nose of the car, the bumper cap of the car is fine, but the hood got popped up in that incident there.
Now, Rick, watch that day-glow yellow-green car. Tristan Dupuis down on the bottom, and Sensiba right across the bow.
Chopped down on him, apparently, going into the corner. That does not work in a place like this. So Sensiba on the brakes hard, gets it pointed in the right direction. Here's another look as we come up onto the front stretch.
Yeah, Tristan was just holding his line there. Looks like Dave Sensiba on the 6th tried to come down.
Take a look from the onboard camera. The Tecumseh Chevrolet of Mike Garvey. Back a couple of spots. You see Sensiba go twirling. Garvey able to stay low and stay out of trouble, but Sensiba loses a bunch of spots and in fact has to come onto pit road to the attention of his crew. Looks like a little damage to the nose piece. We said there was nothing wrong there, but you can see if you look closely, the left headlight cover of the 6 car has some fiberglass damage up front there. So Sensiba will come around. There's his pit stall. The crew will go to work, try to set that hood back down straight, perhaps put right side tires on that car. These BF Goodrich TA radials that are the spec tires of the series are certainly very stout tires. They stand up very well, but it is possible that he could have flat spotted. The tire compound here a little softer than what we had in Lakeland a couple of weeks ago on these race cars. Looking for a restart tonight at Lanier. Lap 49. Again, we'll try it with Mike Eddy, your restart leader in the 88. Beebe is second. Ricky Johnson restarts third. Sawinski, Sauter, Mike Miller, Wimmer, and Dupuis. Philip Kranifus is up there in the Mobil 1 Pontiac. Good run for the rookie driver. Right behind the 83 of fellow rookie Joey Clinton. Eddie sprints out to a 3-car length advantage.
Boy, when you think of racers, Mike Eddy is right up there with the top of them, Rick. And you think Dale Earnhardt, Steve Kinzer. Well, Mike Eddy is as respected a racer. Everybody who raced in the series and went to Winston Cup talks about the lessons that they learned from Mike Eddy and Dick Trickle.
Mike Eddy, the 7-time ASA National Stock Car Champion. Scott Wimmer up to 7th, the rookie driver in the black Chevrolet there. The 05 right behind him. Dupuis in the 11 is 8th. Mike Miller 1 spot ahead in 6th behind the leaders. Miller really at his hometown track, as Steve mentioned a couple of moments ago. This is the place where Mike Miller decided to make his return to stock car competition a couple of years back after a lengthy layoff.
And you know, Rick, he said when he walked away from racing, he didn't miss it a bit. He did watch it, said he was happy as a clam, but once he got back in the race car, it was all over then.
You hear the motors, you smell the unique aromas of the racetrack, and once you have it in your blood, there is little you can do to get it out, as those of us who've been around the sport for a lifetime can attest to. Tim Sauter in the 9, leading Mike Miller right at the moment. Sauter is 5th, Miller is 6th, Wimmer is 7th, then Dupuis and Joey Clinton 8th and 9th. Back in 10th spot, Philip Kranifus in a good run for the young driver.
And of course, his father is Michael Kranifus, who's in partnership with Roger Penske up there, the Winston Cup effort. Jeremy Mayfield's the driver on that car.
A little further back in the field, the 16 of Russ Tuttle, one of the drivers who made the show out of the 100-lap conceit. Got a spin up in turn 2. Eddie's still your leader. He'll have to get on the brakes. Several cars jam up in 2. Caution waves again. No extensive damage. Larry Foote was in the middle of that one with Paul Dallin back in the 67. Caution back on the speedway, and everybody slows it down. Several cars got together up in turn 2 on lap 57, bringing out the 4th yellow flag of the night. But fortunately, no heavy contact, no heavy damage. So all the drivers able to pull away safely. And the field will realign behind the Pontiac Grand Prix pace car. Johnson, the pole sitter tonight, riding third for the restart. Talked about Mike Eddy, the eweb21.com. Chevrolet, long history in this series from 1982 at Bristol, Tennessee. Eddie with a win.
Against Dick Trickle there.
That's right. Back when Nationwide Auto Parts was the sponsor on his Pontiac Grand Prix, Eddie with victories coast to coast in the ASA series.
You know what's impressive about his career, Rick, is the longevity.
Sure.
He won his first championship back in 1974, and he's still giving them hell now.
He is. 48 years young, plenty of skill, plenty of desire. 57 series wins, 33 times on the pole. How about the 200 top fives? To me, that may be the most impressive stat of all.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, consistency right there, and consistently excellent to be in the top 5. That's amazing.
Came back last year, if you were with us, up at La Crosse, Wisconsin. Eddie hadn't raced all season. It was in August last year. Took that car to a victory. Started at the back of the field, got to the front with about 100 laps to go, drove by the remaining cars and said, see you later, in his return to ASA competition. One of the great drives I have seen in 40 years of being around the racetrack.
Hey, Rick, how did he get that nickname, the Polar Bear?
I suspect it has to do with his size and demeanor.
I think you're right.
And he'll be the restart leader here at Lanier in the Discount Auto Parts 300. Coming up on lap 60, we're under caution.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires? Any road you choose. And now we've been ranked best original equipment tire for light truck vehicles and customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
The styling of the Vulcan 1500 Drifter takes you back to another time. The engineering, make sure you don't get stuck there. Vulcan, only from Kawasaki.
Green flag has just come back out here at Lanier National Speedway in Gainesville, Georgia. Mike Eddy, your leader, but Rick Beebe giving him plenty to think about in car number 23. Beebe is second. The battle is for third. Ricky Johnson, Kevin Sawinski, your two leaders down into turn 3. There's that race for third. Sawinski working the high side. He's got Mike Miller right behind him going around Ricky Johnson and Tim Sauter. Great battle for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and Sawinski adds third spot back.
How about Ricky Johnson, Rick? I mean, driving with 2 pins. He's got a brace on that left thumb. 2 pins in there. He said it hurts pretty badly, but, I mean, he's acting like it doesn't.
No, he is one tough guy. Youngster who has put together a tremendous racing record. His second year at full-bodied stock cars in the ASA Series. How about Sawinski, the unsponsored Lefevre Monte Carlo, the 21, the second of their 3 cars. Kevin almost won at Lakeland in his return to the series, raced in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Tour the last couple of years.
Talking to Kevin Sawinski today, Rick, he says, he went south, raced NASCAR in the Truck Series for a little while. He says, I feel like I can win every time I buckle in here in this series.
Sawinski is third. Fourth spot is Ricky Johnson, the blue and white 22. Mike Miller wants the spot in the 18, the Janet King Pontiac, down low. You heard the story of Miller back at the season opener at Lakeland. Almost won the national championship last year by a handful of points, bested by Tim Sauter. He's got Sauter right behind him now, and Miller powers his way into fourth, up from 11th starting spot. Ricky Johnson hanging right in there. Dave Doran spins the Doran Enterprises Pontiac up in turn 2. Caution again on the speedway. Quick with the yellow flag tonight. This is a 3/8 mile banked oval. And it is a racetrack where there is not a lot of room with 34 cars in the starting lineup tonight. So Danny Spence on the flag stand wants to bring the yellow out quickly. 5th caution flag of the night. Dorn didn't hit anything. Twirled the car, gathered it back up, took a provisional to make the show in the top 25 in owner points from last year in ASA National Championship standings. So he makes the show here tonight and points the car in the right direction. He'll fall in at the back of the field.
And Rick, we talk about a 3/8 mile track. But they qualified at speeds around 96 miles an hour, so they're still hauling the mail.
You bet they are. 13 seconds and change for the front-running cars during qualifying yesterday. Field back back behind the Pontiac Grand Prix pace car. We'll take a look a little deeper in the pack. You've still got Eddie and Beebe and Sawinski, your top three. There's Miller in fourth, and then Ricky Johnson. Sauter will restart in sixth spot. Scott Wimmer turning in a good ride tonight. The 05, he'll go seventh. Tristan Dupuis lines up in eighth. Joey Clanton is ninth. Clanton from this neck of the woods in Georgia. He's a driver who's got a lot of experience here too. And 10th, how about Henry Butch Miller, our old friend in car number 52, Leroy Troops Pontiac back there with the Meyer Stores sponsorship on that machine this season. Butch had a tough outing in Lakeland. They had troubles on pit road, lost several laps.
Yeah, he was disappointed, but man, when you think about a guy who can get around a short track of Bullring, Butch Miller is one of the first guys I think about.
Absolutely. Great legendary career. Three-time ASA national champion. More than 50 wins in this series. His full-time return as well after a couple of years in Craftsman Trucks in the NASCAR Busch Series. You're on board with Rick Beebe, who'll restart in second spot behind Eddie. There's Butch Miller in that Meyer Pontiac, and Butch is pumped up about coming back to the ASA.
You know, Butch Miller's a guy who's done it all, Rick. I mean, he raced Winston Cup. He raced in the Busch Series, won a Busch race at Hickory. He won the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He outdueled Mike Skinner at Colorado back in '95 in the Truck Series. He can just flat get it done.
Butch started 20th tonight. He is up to 10th in the first 68 laps of competition. Actually coming up on lap number 70 as the pace car goes over the start-finish line. Chad Wood back on pit road in the deuce. Tonight's outside pole sitter with problems again. So his chance to contend probably has gone away. 27 of Philip Cranifus restarting in 11th spot. He had a tough go. Spun and got caught up in a wreck at Lakeland. He's done a nice job here so far. Bob Dillner, the Hamke crew's got to be pretty pleased with how young Philip Cranifus is doing tonight.
They've been pretty pleased all weekend long. Actually, I spoke to Michael Cranifus, his dad, in Texas last week. He pulled me aside and said that Philip was so nervous right before last weekend's race that he left him a message on the answer machine, and he's going to keep it. Hopefully one day he'll get the cup, and he'll be able to play it back for him again.
Lap 73, green flag is out. Eddie is your restart leader. Some drivers try on the outside line, including Philip Cranifus down the back straightaway. He's opened the door there for Gary St. Amant and Mike Garvey. They are 11th and 12th. A couple of guys you definitely don't want filling your mirror. Garvey is flying in the Tecumseh Chevrolet. Last year, many times, if you were with us, he was the fastest car by far. Won 5 races, 3 in a row in the latter portion of the season. Garvey is definitely on the charge, up to 11th. He's waved goodbye to St. Amant for the time being. He's looking to the outside of Cranifus, but he doesn't have much room there. See if he works him to the inside now as they dive into 3. St. Amant back into contention. And how about Dennis Lampman, who made the show through the non-qualifiers race last night? He's moved up the 13th spot on the 19 car. Good run for Lampman. Cranifus hanging on to 10th back there in the 27. Take it back toward the front. The battle is for 3rd spot. Sawinski giving way to Mike Miller. Miller is relentless in that 18 car.
Well, and as we said, he has a home field advantage, so to speak, here. He lives not far from here. Came out of retirement on this racetrack, as we said. He just knows how to get around this racetrack.
Mike Miller last year thought he had the championship won in the ASA AC Delco Series. Lost it in the last couple of weeks of the season, particularly at Jennerstown, the next to last race of the year. Had motor problems virtually at the start of the race. A couple of crank bolts came loose in the power plant of the 18 car, and that pretty much did the deed for Mike Miller. Tim Sauter eventually the national champion. But Bob Dillner, Miller seems to be on a mission here in the early going tonight.
They tested here a little over a week ago. They tested at night, which a lot of teams didn't have the chance to do, and they were awful good. Now, he didn't qualify well, but crew chief Carl Hyland told me, don't worry, we had our race set up in there, and this car is coming to the front.
Sure is. Up to 3rd spot, looking for more on Rick Beebe, diving into turn 3. Miller is a great short track driver. Show you some of the history of Mike Miller in these cars. Last year, winning the race at Nashville in May. Great run for Mike Miller in victory lane 1 year ago. At Berlin Raceway last summer, took the checkered flag in the middle of the season. Collecting a nice piece of hardware. Mike was also the winner at I-70 Speedway last year. This is the situation at Jennerstown, Pennsylvania. Right off the drop of the green flag, Carl Hyland under the hood quickly, lost the motor bolts to the front end of that machine. And Orange County, where Mike had to settle for 2nd spot of the national championship standings. Very disappointed in the outcome, obviously. Trying to make up for it this season. His 62nd career start tonight with 15 wins, 19 poles.
You know, Rick,
and a bunch bunch of top fives.
At the ASA banquet in December, he said he still wasn't over the disappointment of losing that championship. And at spring training in Lakeland about a month ago, he said, I'm still not over it. It still hurts.
Took it very hard. We're on board with Rick Beebe running second. Jerry Gunderman's All-Star Pontiac tonight with the Grease Lightning sponsorship on board. The Grease Lightning in-car camera. Looking back at the 18 of Miller. Beebe's done quietly an excellent job so far tonight here in the first 100 laps. Miller trying to find running room on the low side. Beebe started back in 7th, has come to second behind Eddie. Eddie came from 5th to the lead here. Eddie has had a very strong race car, but has not been able to open up a lot of turf on either the 23 or the 18. And Sawinski, as we've mentioned several times, is hanging right in there in 4th. Take a look a little further back in the pack. Good battle for 12th and 13th spot. Tristan Dupuis and Scott Hansen. Now Hansen is several laps down by our reckoning, but he is whistling to the front, trying to catch up and make up some of those laps. Tristan Dupuis riding, trying to hold off the 16 of Russ Tuttle. Bob Dillner, what's the situation in Dupuis' pit?
Well, Rick, you said it. He's just riding right now. There are no problems with that car whatsoever. He says a couple guys are getting a little too anxious out there, so he's going to just fall into the line and hopefully come to the front by the end of this race.
Imagine that, guys losing their tempers here.
Hard to believe.
No, say it so.
At least it's not 95 degrees tonight. Wait till we get to the middle of the summer and get to Salem, Steve. You're going to see something. It will be very, very warm, and that will ratchet up the pressure on these guys quite a bit. Dupuis back in 13th right now by our count, trying to hold off Russ Tuttle in 14th spot. And a good battle. Tuttle made the show through the qualifiers 100-lapper last night as well, and he's really charging through the field.
Yeah, Russ Tuttle is a great story. He's from Indianapolis, grew up watching open wheel cars, of course. He is the head of detectives in Marion County, Indiana. He was working personal security for Dale Earnhardt when the Winston Cup Series ran their very first race in 1996. They developed a friendship, and from that, Russ Tuttle started racing. That's exactly how it started. He's 40 years old. He still has a full-time job as the chief of detectives, and he loves to race.
And he is in search of a higher finishing position tonight in the Conseco Pontiac. Tuttle doing a good job here at this racetrack. Back up front, it is Mike Eddy, who's opened up about a 5-car length advantage now on Rick Beebe. The battle taking shape for 3rd. Scott Wimmer turns Mike Miller around in turn 2. We were getting ready to take a timeout. Let's show you what happens. Wimmer goes around, backs into the inside retaining wall. Miller and Wimmer were fighting for 3rd spot. We stay with you here at Lanier National Speedway. Wimmer gets back on the gas, but the caution comes out. That was a great battle. It had taken shape there quietly all of a sudden. Wimmer got into Miller, and Mike went around. Wimmer went around. We'll try to reset for you and see just where Miller will fall into line, but they both lose a lot of ground. Mike Miller has pulled back up into 3rd, but he's in the inside lane of the racetrack right now. We apologize. Our scoring system not functioning correctly at the moment. We know that Eddie is your leader. Beebe is 2nd. We believe that Miller will give up 3rd spot after the spin and the caution. Tim Sauter dropping to the low side of the racetrack as well. Not part of the lead battle at the moment as the safety car reappears.
Yep, all we saw is a big cloud of smoke there, Rick. You know, they have to race tight here. They're going to race physical, and they're going to protect their turf on the racetrack, so it's inevitable.
Take one more look at it down the front stretch here as we pan back. That's Clanton, Joey Clanton in the 83. There's the contact. The 05 had clipped the back bumper of Miller going into the corner. Sawinski just gets through the hole there. No damage really to any of the 3 cars. Take another look at it there. You see the 05 going around after the contact with the 18. I think Sawinski and Tim Sauter may have done the best driving job of all to avoid that.
How did Sawinski get on the binders, slow that baby down, and then get through it? That was amazing.
Take a look back at it. You're on board with Rick Beebe here, running 2nd at the time. There you see the bump.
Yeah. You can see it. You can see it. Miller had help coming around.
Short track action at its most exciting on a
Don't
Saturday
you love
night.
it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Teams heading to pit road under caution. The 19 of Lampman is in for right side tires. The 5, that's Scott Hansen. Miller taking on right side tires and fuel. There's the 28 of Tim Taylor diving, and the 34 car coming on to pit road. The Paul Highland machine. Carl Highland calling the shots, changing tires downstairs to Bob Dillner.
Well, Rick Johnson, Butch Miller, and Kevin Sawinski was supposed to come in, but we don't see him right now. Rick Johnson has a loose condition in his car. He is changing right side tires. Butch Miller, who has been a little bit further back in the pack, he said before the race, he told me he made that car very loose because he expected the track to tighten up. Right now, it's not working for Butch Miller.
Miller running decently up in 10th. He gained 10 spots. Now the jam up trying to get back onto the racetrack. We'll show you the pit road configuration here and what these drivers are facing when we come back to the Discount Auto Parts 300 at Lanier National Speedway.
You got your pickup looking great.
Thanks.
How about a lift?
Sure. Where would you like to go? How about Pep Boys?
That's a great idea, because right now Pep Boys is offering free installation of quality Gabriel Pro Rider premium shocks for your truck, van, or SUV. That's right, free installation up to a $40 value when you buy Gabriel Pro Rider shocks.
Truck's riding great. Glad you suggested Pep Boys.
That makes two of us.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Donald Keatley drove a truck. Then he hurt his back. It was the longest 2 years of his life. Do you know how hard it is to ask your in-laws for money? So he called the money store. We paid his first mortgage, his second mortgage, and gave him the money to pay back his in-laws. Today, he's back at work. He's getting his credit back on track. He's saving money every month. And his pride, that was the first thing he got back.
The Money Store. 1-800-LOAN-YES.
The American Historic Society presents the complete state quarter collection of the 20th century. Minted in only half the quantity as the newer states, the 1999 state quarters are quickly disappearing from circulation as Americans rush to hoard them. The U.S. Mint strikes each quarter for only 10 weeks. After that, they're never minted again. But you can have all 5 1999 quarters, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut, in brilliant uncirculated condition. This collection is not available in any store, but through this special offer, it's yours for only $19.95. Call now and we'll include this beautiful display map of the United States, specially designed to hold all 50 state quarters, and our 50-state facts book, filled with exciting information about each state. But wait, order within the next 10 minutes and we'll also include the first quarter of the year 2000. That's right, the 6-state quarter Massachusetts, absolutely free. To order, have your credit card ready and call our toll-free number. Order within the next 10 minutes and receive the Massachusetts quarter absolutely free. This is a limited offer, so call now.
ECW Wrestling in the Thrill Zone on TNN. ECW holds on to the TV title belt, but not without paying the price. The Baldies do battle with Danny Doring and Roadkill. And Madman Tajiri takes on Powerhouse Little Guido. Wrestling like you've never seen. ECW Wrestling, Friday at 8 Eastern, part of Thrill Zone Friday on TNN.
Back live at Lanier National Speedway in Lanier, Georgia. Rick Benjamin, Steve Burns, Bob Dillner with you for the Discount Auto Parts 300, the ASA AC Delco Series tonight on TNN Sports. Find out who has the dead man's gun this week. It's set in the Old West. Big Stars, all a part of TNN's Action Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 8 Eastern and Pacific, only on TNN. Going green, lap 101. Mike Eddy is your leader. Rick Beebe is second. Kevin Sawinski restarts third. Joey Clinton restarts fourth in the 83. The rookie runner out of Stockbridge, Georgia, and Gary St. Amant, the defending race winner from Lakeland, won the season opener. He is up to fifth. And we've got trouble right away.
That's Philip Cranafis.
27 car goes around up in turn number 2. Philip will try to get the car refired and pointed in the right direction. He was running up in the top 12 before that last caution for Mike Miller and Scott Wimmer. Get it refired, have to tuck in at the back of the field, and that may well cost him a lap as we get sorted out. Take one more look at it for you. Looking down from the first turn, loose there. Contact with one of the other machines. Tim Taylor's car gets a bump from Cranafis. He goes around, keeps it off the wall.
Yeah, you can tell he almost had that thing straightened out, and the other car could not avoid him there on the bottom.
Cranafis back up to speed. Field regrouping behind the pace car. We'll take the opportunity to grab a quick timeout. Plenty more to come from Lanier in just a moment.
Polaris has sold more automatic ATVs than everyone else combined. And to celebrate building their 1 millionth automatic, they're giving $1 million to someone who buys a new Polaris ATV this year. It could be you. The Polaris millionth automatic $1 million giveaway. The chase is on. See your Polaris dealer for contest details.
Little Bell!
The Thompsons are finicky about their yard.
And that's why they depend on their Hondas. Lightweight and easy starting, super quiet. Honda Power Equipment helps make the Thompson's yard nice and attractive.
Lulabelle! No!
Maybe too attractive. Call for a free brochure or visit us on the web.
My wife's got it all wrong. I keep telling her that grease lightning is for these tough outdoor jobs.
He never admits he's wrong. Just look at how Grease Lightning cleans kitchen grease.
The boat, the car engine, this is a man's cleaner.
Oh, yeah? Then why is it such a great laundry pre-wash? Give me back my Grease Lightning.
It's mine.
Why don't you just buy 2 bottles?
No other cleaners as fast. Grease Lightning.
Smart kid.
Takes after me. Tonight's exclusive TNN Sports coverage of the Discount Auto Parts 300 is being brought to you by Grease Lightning Multi-Purpose Degreaser. 107 laps on the board at Lanier National Speedway. The green flag reappears. Mike Eddy is the leader in car number 88. Rick Beebe is second in the 23. Kevin Sawinski is third. Joey Clanton is fourth in the 83. Gary St. Amant is fifth in the 7 car. The 07 of Jack Landis not on the lead lap. Unofficially, the 16 of Russ Tuttle would be 6th. The 33 of Greg Stewart. The 0 of Tracy Goodson, we believe, would be in 7th spot. Then you've got the 6 of Dave Sensiba and the 45 of Greg Usher.
You know, Joey Clanton in the 83 car, very impressive, Rick. He's another one of those rookies. He's running in the 4th position. He has raced late models on this track, but interesting thing about him, he's also a college graduate of Georgia Tech University, and their team is headquartered about 20 minutes from here.
Stockbridge, Georgia, the hometown for Joey Clanton, turning in a good ride so far. At the head of the classes, he's been much of the night, the 88 and the Polar Bear. Mike Eddy, trouble up in turn 4 again. Philip Kranifus. This time he gathers up Tristan Dupuis. Not a lot of contact. Dupuis skates away unscathed. And the 27 of Kranifus pointed in the wrong direction for the second time in 10 laps. Strategy starting to come into play here with all the cautions we've had. I think we're in double digits already, and we're just past the 1/3 mark of tonight's action. Bob Dillner on pit road. These teams may be throwing the book out and changing their plans. What's going on with Mike Eddy's team?
Well, that's exactly the case with Mike Eddy. At least that's what you told me, crew chief Doug Smokestaff, before the race. You said you were going to come in 2 or 3 times. You're in the lead right now. Have you changed your strategy?
Yeah, Mike feels that it'd be better to come in when everybody follows him in instead of ended up in the back. We'd like to have everybody come in with us. Track position's real important tonight, and we're just kind of monitoring some of the guys that did come in, changed 4 tires. I know Mike Miller came in, changed 4, and we've got a clock on him to see how he's doing.
So track position is key, and also lap times, very important tonight, because in this situation, it'd be very easy to go a lap down if you make the wrong call.
Yeah, and, you know, giving up track position, that is just so tough to do. It's hard to pass people here. We've seen it, cars getting together, so you don't want to give up that track position.
Very tough to make up ground, as evenly matched as the cars are in the ASA AC Delco Series with the GF Vortec motors across the board, plus the BF Goodrich tires. Plenty more to come.
You know, this is great.
Rediscover the lost art of conversation. Go RVing. Life's a trip. Visit an RV dealer or call for a free video.
We're the Tractor Supply Yard Assault Squad.
Our job?
Toughest lawns in America.
Our mission?
The right mower
At the right price.
Right now, the Yard Assault Squad's ready to help take care of your yard with special prices on all Husky lawn equipment, like this big 20-horse, 46-inch cut for only $15.99. If you've got a job to do, turn the folks at Tractor Supply loose on it. You'll get the tractor you need, the accessories you need,
and the team you need.
only at Tractor Supply.
It's a sport that takes strength, timing, and agility, but most of all, it takes guts. It's Championship Rodeo from Houston, sanctioned by the PRCA. Sunday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific on TNN.
Branson clothes from the stars as it shows neon lights and the beautiful sights. Branson's the one for great family fun. That's entertainment.
Branson, Missouri, the live entertainment capital of the world. Breathtaking scenery, lakeside fun, and great shows. It's all here. Call 1-800-488-9339.
Branson's alive with entertainment.
Six Flags Great America says add up the value and save big with our huge season pass sale. Buy a season pass 4-pack at Pick and Save now for just $63.10 per person and get unlimited visits with awesome new shows, a spectacular new parade, and the incredible Russian circus. Visit just twice and save. Buy now and get a free visit for a friend. See great concerts and festivals. Visit any other Six Flags park. Add your free value pack savings. You save hundreds. Hurry to Pick and Save and buy your Great America Season Pass 4-pack now. Don't delay. Offer ends May 21st.
Lap 117 just going green, and another car has spun. The 01 of Johnny Sauter goes around. Everybody on the brakes. Caution waves once again. So not even a lap under green as we were just coming back from commercial here on TNN Sports. Johnny Sauter with a troubled night once again. Young driver of whom much is expected, jumping into one of the best teams in the series, the LeFevre team, with Murray on the back of the car. That's a significant sponsorship, but they had trouble in Lakeland mechanically, and same thing tonight early, and now Johnny has spun.
Yeah, he's about 0 for 2,000 right now. I hate to say it, but
yeah.
A lot of people think he's got a lot of talent.
He does. Very stout in the local late model ranks, and a great set of bloodlines for Johnny Sauter, the son of the legendary Jim Sauter. Still active occasionally, still tests the IROC cars. Of course, Tim Sauter and Jay Sauter's brothers. So
Jay Sauter finished 6th at Nashville today in the Busch race, as seen here on TNN.
Watching Johnny get back into line, ready to go here in just a couple of moments. Get the track checked out. It is slick here tonight, no doubt, because it's very, very cold. You suspect there's little dew, a little moisture here this evening. Wouldn't be a big surprise if that were the case. And that could be causing some difficulty for these drivers trying to get a hold of the racetrack here tonight. Show you what happened. This is Sauter in the black 01 down into turn 3. Oh, a little help from Dave Doran there. And around he goes. On the brakes, caught another shot from the 77 on the way by. Fortunately, all behind him able to get woed down in time. Take a look at it. Here's Doran in the 77, busted in there a little too quickly into turn 3. And on board with Mike Garvey. Green flag reappears. Still Eddie Beebe. Now Clanton has worked his way up to 3rd as we begin lap 121 of 300 tonight. Joey Clanton in the yellow and blue 83 machine has worked his way by the 21 of Sawinski. So Clanton is on the move here in the middle 3rd of this one tonight. Your leader is still Eddie. Beebe is 2nd. Clanton 3rd. Sawinski running 4th. And trouble on the front straightaway. We jump on board with Rick Beebe. Everybody on the brakes, and this time heavy damage. Johnny Sauter took a hard lick. The 27 of Philip Cranifus pinned into the outside wall coming off 4. The Mobil 1 Pontiac's hood is askew. Heavy damage to that machine up front and to the rear, and that's Buddy Gainey in the Gainey Transportation Pontiac with Bissell on the side of that car in difficulty as well. The wreckers coming to the scene.
And I want to tell you, I just happened to glance up. Philip Cranifus hit that wall a ton. I'm glad to see him moving around, but he hit it hard.
So caution again. This would be unofficially the 9th yellow flag of the night on lap 122. 2 times in a row we went green for just a lap. Johnny Sauter took heavy damage to the front end of the 01. He had just spun a moment ago, gathered it back up, restarted, got caught up in that one. We take a look from the infield. Philip Cranifus hangs the helmet on the hook. He's dropped the window net, getting ready to climb out of the Robert Hamke Pontiac. Well, you know, each week here on our ASA coverage on TNN Sports, we're going to profile one of the exciting personalities in this series. Our big name in the making, brought to you by BF Goodrich. Tonight, a look at 36-year-old Michigander Mike Garvey.
37-year-old Michigan native Mike Garvey grew up in racing. His dad worked on race cars, and Mike's first job was sweeping floors at a race shop. Mike's passion for racing has turned a part-time job into a way of life.
I'd always watched ASA, and as I grew up, that was my dream, was racing ASA. But in my particular time, there wasn't really any opportunity.
Here comes Garvey on the outside. Now he's clean and able to run back to the lead car here. The 42 there, Garvey, has been a very fast race car all day long.
And from that point, I really figured if I was going to make racing a full-time job, I needed to move down south. So I moved down south and started racing All-Pro. I raced the All-Pro Series. Gosh, I think at one time or another, I've raced every series it's been except Winston Cup. We ran Busch for a year. The Hooters Cup, but the problem was it wasn't on TV, so it was kind of, you'd get to the point that's as far as you could go.
Mike Garvey's childhood dream of racing an ASA came true in 1997. Since then, Mike has 8 victories and feels like he's found a home.
We're all scratching and digging to be the best. So, I mean, what you see is a true passion to win, and it's not driven by money. It's not driven by fame. I think it's driven by the desire to win racing.
And Mike Garvey feels like he can win in this series. He's been a consistent winner. And Bob Dillner, tell us about Mike Garvey tonight. Well, Steve, you know, Mike Garvey is very happy, as he said, in the ASA. I spoke to him yesterday, and he told me he has had a couple of offers to go bush racing and, quote-unquote, go up into the NASCAR series. But he is very happy here. He loves the competition, and he would rather stay here in the ASA, which is the premier short track series in America, rather than going to the Busch series and maybe compete in a maybe subpar team. Well, Bob, that's an excellent point. You know, a lot of guys who have won races and been successful in this series, they're not happy to move up to what they would consider a subpar Busch ride. They'd rather be here, Rick, in the ASA, where they can be competitive, have good equipment, and have a chance to win.
Once you've tasted success on this level, you're not happy running 15th every week or having trouble making the field in some cases. And Garvey, certainly one of the drivers who falls into that category. Tremendous performance by this driver, this team, 1 year ago. Still looking for their first win of 2000, but it won't be long, undoubtedly, before the Tecumseh Chevrolet is back in victory lane. 126 laps on the board. Your top 5 on the restart will be the 88 at 23. And Joey Clanton, Kevin Sawinski, and Gary St. Amant. Still under caution for Philip Kranifus' machine. We'll be back.
Keep that engine alive with Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. It prevents wear in new engines and stops smoking, knocking, and oil burning in worn engines. It's a pure petroleum product that also cools and quiets differentials and manual transmissions. It's already #1 in the heavy-duty industry and #1 in the high-performance industry. But we actually made it for you, your car, your problem. We just happen to make it good enough for those other guys, too. Lucas, we save you money.
My wife's got it all wrong. I keep telling her that grease lighting is for these tough outdoor jobs.
He never admits he's wrong. Just look at how Grease Lightning cleans kitchen grease.
The boat, the car engine, this is a man's cleaner.
Oh, yeah? Then why is it such a great laundry pre-wash? Give me back my Grease Lightning.
It's mine.
Why don't you just buy 2 bottles?
No other cleaners as fast. Grease Lightning.
Smart kid.
Takes after me.
Meet Martin Licious, Storm Chaser. Some head for the basement. He heads for a Chevy S10. It's got advantages over Ford Ranger, like better fuel economy, a bigger bed, and standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes on every model. Because if you want to outrun Mother Nature, you need every advantage you can get. Chevy S10, like a rock.
Finally, spring, and guarantees are in full bloom. Now, during Sears Days, hurry in for the season's lowest prices on lots of the best brands going. The only thing limited about this sale is how long it goes on. Sears Days, don't miss them.
Busy morning? We've got you covered. Burger King has delicious new pancake minis. Light buttermilk silver dollar pancakes with rich syrup so you can dip them and eat them on the go. Just 99 cents for a limited time. Only at Burger King.
We're back trying to go green at Lanier, and a big tangle right off the green flag. Greg Usher's 45, Tim Taylor in the 28, and young Larry Foyt in the Harrah's. A.J. Foyt, Butch Miller, Pontiac right in the middle of things as they came off turn 4 to take the green flag. Literally, the green was just going in the air. And how about Ricky Johnson at the start-finish line? If we can move our camera down the straightaway a little, the pole sitter tonight has gotten into the wall as well in car number 22, the Nationwide Auction System Chevrolet. Ricky puts it in reverse, backs it away.
He did some damage to the left front corner of that car, Rick.
He sure did. Big tangle up at the top of turn 4. We'll get that all sorted out. Meantime, downstairs to Bob Dillner.
Well, we all know that Michael Cranafis, Winston Cup car owner, is watching this race live from his coach in Martinsville. His son Philip just crashed out. Philip, what happened?
Just one of them deals. Just me and another car got together. He was up high, and I don't know. Next thing I know, I was headed straight into the wall. So not really the way I wanted to end the night. I got to thank Mobile One and team. Everybody worked real hard, and it's a shame. This is not how I wanted to run the second race of the season here. So. Too bad.
Philip Cranafis in on the hook. Couple of spins for that machine tonight, and then the crushing blow a few moments ago. This is just a moment ago, coming out of turn 4 as the field came to green. There you see Greg Usher going around. Looked like Larry Foyt might have gotten well, he didn't get a piece of that until the very end. Tim Taylor caught up in it. There was another car involved with a 45 that sent Usher spinning there.
Yeah, Larry Foyt had absolutely nowhere to go. He was trying to get on the brakes. Let's take a look at it from Mike Garvey's in-car camera.
Tim Sauter, I believe, and Ricky Johnson. That's where the contact with Ricky Johnson came, and he took a hard shot from the one of Garvey. So Garvey with damage. We were just talking about what a great career in ASA Mike Garvey has had, and how he won so many races last year, and how he would be such a strong competitor. If we can, we'll get you a shot of the right front corner of champion Tim Sauter's 9 car, and the right front corner of the one of Mike Garvey also. Garvey's on pit road. Let's take a look at that while Ricky Johnson's car goes up on the hook. The LeFevre team swarming over the Tecumseh Chevrolet on pit road right now. They're working to try to repair the right front corner. They've got the wheel off. They're doing some work on the A-arms under there. There's steam rising. He may have damaged some of the cooling mechanism of that car. Now remember, with the GM Vortex spec engine, this is a fuel-injected car now, computer-controlled in the motor box. And there's an electric fan behind the radiator. So this is not what you're used to seeing in stock car competition. Heating is an issue. Heating needs to be controlled in these cars to make the engines perform properly. And the LeFevre team under the hood making sure that all the ductwork is in place when they get the front end of the one put back together. But Garvey's losing a couple of laps here.
Yeah, and what a heartbreak for Ricky Johnson. His car sitting dead in the water right on the middle of the front stretch of number 22 of Ricky Johnson. I'd love to see that replay again, Rick. It looked like, you know, they had it missed, but they just couldn't avoid each other. Boy, both of them are in trouble now.
We talked at the top of the broadcast about how wide the racing surface is here. There's plenty of room. The turns are 85 feet wide. The straightaways more than 60 feet wide here at Lanier. So you do have a place to go, but there's cement walls inside and outside. There's no margin for error other than the racing surface itself. And sometimes in short track racing, you just get leaned on, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I think that's what happened with Ricky Johnson and Mike Garvey as they came off the 4th corner there. It's been real hard for a lot of these cars to get a hold of the racetrack. If you've been with us since the top of the show tonight, we're up to at least the 11th caution of the evening. There's Sauter's Trim-Plast Build-A-Mold Chevrolet. He got into it with Garvey and with Ricky Johnson there, as we showed you a moment ago. So the national champion with problems here tonight.
The styling of the Vulcan 1500 Drifter takes you back to another time. The engineering, make sure you don't get stuck there. Vulcan, only from Kawasaki.
You got your pickup looking great. Thanks. How about a lift? Sure. Where would you like to go? How about Pep Boys?
That's a great idea, because right now Pep Boys is offering free installation of quality Gabriel Pro Rider premium shocks for your truck, van, or SUV. That's right, free installation up to a $40 value when you buy Gabriel Pro Rider shocks.
Truck's riding great. Glad you suggested Pep Boys. That makes 2 of us.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
They're calling you. The places you want to be. The things you want to do. But you're not going to get there until you finish this stuff. That's why there's True Value. We get you in and out fast with just what you need for the job. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
TNN Action Wednesdays. One hot night. Wednesday on the Magnificent Seven.
I never thought Don Paolo would follow me here.
To save Inez, Buck is challenged to a duel.
You ready? Not even close. Los Magnificos intend to interfere.
Will swords undo the Seven?
Nobody said anything about swords. Si, senor.
Ride with the Magnificent Seven. Wednesday at 10 Eastern only on TNN Action Wednesdays. One hot night.
Back with the ASA AC Delco Series at Lanier National Speedway. A reminder that www.wrenchhead.com is your online automotive superstore with millions of replacement parts, performance parts, accessories too. Free shipping, of course, from wrenchhead.com. Parts online all the time. Cautions all the time here tonight at Lanier. Round 2 of the year 2000 ASA AC Delco Series. Pole sitter Ricky Johnson back in the back end of the pit area. Bob Dillner is there.
Rick, they're thrashing on this car right now, trying to get it back because you get out there, you get more points. Ricky Johnson looking very frustrated here in the cockpit. Ricky, what happened out there?
Well, either something happened with, I think Greg Usher might have missed a shift or something like that happened, but Garvey and I climbed all over the top of him. It happened so fast. You know, it's a shame because this first week that we got WorldBestBuy.com on the car and Nationwide Auction Systems got it. We were on the pole, so we had a good car. We were just a little loose. We adjusted a little bit. We felt like we were going to the front, but that's short track racing. We'll get it fixed and get back out there.
Team not giving up at all. They've got heavy body damage to the left corner of the car, and obviously they've got a lot of work to do on the front corner suspension of that machine. We'll show it to you one more time. This is coming to the restart, and Ricky Johnson thinking that perhaps Greg Usher in the black 45 missed a shift.
And riding with Mike Garvey, it looks like Ricky Johnson turns left. It looks like Garvey was through there, and then Johnson turned left. Don't know if he couldn't control the race car. Don't know, but there they are, Mike Garvey's team still trying to get that car back in the race.
They've fixed the right front corner of the car. They've 200-mile-an-hour taped the left front corner bodywork. They're pushing the Tecumseh Chevrolet away. Now, remember, Garvey's probably missed 5 or 6 laps during this caution period, so that will remove him from contention tonight. But I watched the LeFevre team work on that car in similar situations several times last year. Chances are that car will be as fast as it was before the wreck. Mike's probably just lost his opportunity to win. Green flag coming as Garvey comes back up onto the racetrack. Still Mike Eddy out in front. Rick Beebe is second. Kevin Sawinski is third. Joey Clanton in the 83 is fourth. And the battles for fifth. Greg Stewart and Gary St. Amant duking it out as they hit turn 3 with lap number 143 on the board. And a spin again. Tracy Goodson spins in the 0. Goodson, who made the show of the Blue Dolphin Pontiac out of the qualifiers race last night, the 100-lap, actually non-qualifiers race, we should say, kind of a consolation round new to ASA this year to give the many teams who are in the series this year chances at seat time and experience on the racetrack. Even if they don't make the big show on Saturday night or Sunday, at least they get 100 laps of racing under their belt on the weekend. Goodson did a good job last night to make the show. He's a veteran of the short tracks. He's run here several times before. His first campaign at ASA, his second spin of the night. So we're right back under caution. Let's find out more about Mike Garvey's situation downstairs to Bob Dillner.
Well, Mike Garvey involved in that wreck, and Bon Suss, we're here with him, his crew chief. Bon, you wrecked at Lakeland there. We got to stop meeting like this. You fixed the car, but tell me what happened and how that car is going to run for the rest of the race.
We should be pretty good. LeFevre Racing Team guys did a great job. This Tecumseh Chevy should be fine now. We broke an upper ball joint. We missed the wreck and everything, and Ricky Johnson, who was in it, was coming down the racetrack. I'm sure he had no steering because of the wreck he was in and just blasted us right in the right front. But the Tecumseh Chevy should be good now, and I think we can make it the rest of the race. So we should be pretty decent. We're just down 5-6 laps there trying to fix it.
Rick, Steve, 2 tough blows to the championship hunt for Mike Garvey so far this year.
He's off to not a great start, certainly in the point situation. Unofficially, 9 laps down for Garvey after that long tour on pit road. Tracy Goodson back up on the racetrack. Lights are out on the safety car. The race in the hands of leader Mike Eddy in the 88 car. 145 laps on the board. We're 5 short of halfway. Goodson looks like he's having trouble. either getting up to speed or he's going to try to blend in at the back of the pack, more likely. Green is back out. Eddie, Beebe, and Sawinski in the black 21 car. Clanton is fourth. St. Amant fifth, but Stewart to the high side in the white 33 wants the spot away from Gary, the 1998 ASA National Champion. How about Russ Tuttle up to seventh in the Conseco Pontiac? That's the 16, the green machine, and trouble on the front stretch. Paul Dallenbach spins the 67 car. The yellow is back out once again. Nobody touches Dallenbach as he comes to a stop. They'll get it gathered up, trying to point the yellow freight machine in the right direction. The Energetics Motorsports car out of Dallas, Texas. That's a Pontiac Grand Prix. Our 13th caution of the night, and we're not quite to halfway. Hope you got plenty of popcorn where you're watching from tonight, because I think we're going to be here a while.
Well, we called it at the top of the show, didn't we, Rick?
Absolutely.
Lots of short track action. Use that bumper, man. I just looked up again and saw the 67. He got help from behind that time, and the front stretch closed up in a hurry.
They were jammed up 4 wide at the start-finish line. By the time we got a good look at it, Dallenbach had been turned around and was stopped. Everybody got through, but it did jam things up quite a bit as they came around on the front straightaway. Take a look back. This is our high-speed camera right at the start-finish line. Leaders get by, and there's Dallenbach getting some help and twirling around. Looked like Butch Miller was right in the middle of that one for a moment there.
You know, Darrell Waltrip has a favorite racing expression, Rick. He says, let the rough side drag. We are seeing that tonight.
And let the smooth side show, and that's what they're trying to do. Dallenbach on pit road, right side tires going on the yellow Chevrolet, the yellow freight Pontiac, we should say. Closing in on halfway, Mike Eddy cruising out in front.
With all that stuff you carry around, ever had trouble finding the one thing you need? Like an important receipt or your bank card. Now you can find all your cards and receipts instantly with the amazing Magic Wallet. Is your wallet bursting at the seams? Do you resort to this? You need the Magic Wallet. The Magic Wallet is thin, compact, good-looking, and made of top-quality leather. But watch closely, because you're about to see what makes the Magic Wallet different than any other. Simply put your cash or a receipt inside, close the wallet, and presto, it's magically grabbed and held tight under the strong nylon straps. The Magic Wallet instantly grabs parking stubs, business cards, credit card receipts, and more, so you'll know just where to find them later. But that's not all. These outside pockets hold all your credit cards, driver's license, and more conveniently and securely. And the Magic Wallet still stays thin and streamlined, so it fits easily in your shirt pocket, pants pocket, evening bag, anywhere. The Magic Wallet is handsome, convenient, and fun. Your friends will love it. There's no other wallet like it. It's magic. Old-fashioned wallets and money clips made of high-quality leather like the Magic Wallet can cost $40, $80, even $100. Yet they can't do this. But the genuine leather Magic Wallet costs just $14.95. Plus, you'll get a special free bonus when you call now. Our exclusive auto wallet to hold and organize all your car registration and insurance papers. It's yours free when you order Magic Wallet now. Magic Wallets make great gifts. Call within the next 10 minutes and get 2 for just $19.95. You save $9.95 and get an auto wallet free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-641-9090 now to get the amazing Magic Wallet at the special TV price of just $14.95 and get the auto wallet free. Or get 2 Magic Wallets for just $19.95 and save even more. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Call now 1-800-641-9090. That's 1-800-641-9090.
Welcome back. We are live at Lanier National Speedway, just north and east of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Rick Benjamin with Steve Burns, Bob Dillner on pit road tonight. The ASA AC Delco Series on TNN Sports. We close in on halfway of the Discount Auto Parts 300. Mike Eddy, your leader. A whole new year and a whole new era for ASA starting in the year 2000. It's a year of radical change, plenty of new technology. Our Bob Dillner recently made a pit stop at an ASA race shop to give us a closer look at the new configuration.
This is car owner Robert Hampke's shop in Mooresville, North Carolina for driver Philip Cranifis and the Mobile One team. It's your typical race shop, and this looks like your typical ASA car, but it's not. A lot has changed to these cars this year. Number one, the tires. Goodyear used to claim to be number one in tires. They are not now. They're out. BF Goodrich is in, but this is more than just a name change. What the ASA has done is they've gone from a bias ply to a radial tire. Look here, no treads, but this is a lot more like what we run on our street cars. The other change comes underneath the rear deck lid. What you see right there is a 15-gallon fuel cell. That is smaller than last year's 22-gallon model. What the ASA has done is utilizing this smaller fuel cell to help promote pit stops. The theory is more pit stops, the better the racing. But the biggest change is underneath the hood. We'll lift up the hood of Philip Kranis's Mobile 1 Pontiac. You can see right there, no carburetor. This is an electronically controlled, fuel-injected V8, the first of its kind for a short-track oval racing series. This engine right here, you could basically take it out of a Corvette and plop it into an ASA car. It's less expensive than last year's V6, but most of all, it's virtually maintenance-free.
But not maintenance-free tonight. Another jam up on the front stretch. Couple of laps of green flag racing. Back under caution, Tristan Dupuis, Dennis Lampman, and the 6 of Dave Sensiba for the second time tonight. Sensiba and the MCSports.com Pontiac hard into the outside retaining wall. Dupuis gets a little nudge there from the 19 of Lampman as they all check up and try to get their cars unhooked.
You know, Rick, I got to wonder, we're seeing a lot of cautions when they're just going back to green. You know, I got to wonder, we talked about how cold the temperature is outside. Are these tires getting hooked up to the racetrack? Are these guys, you know, getting on the gas too hard? I've just got to wonder, going back to caution, if that is what the problem is.
A lot of traffic deep in the field and a lot of guys scrambling for positions here tonight as well. So a lot of factors, no doubt. But as we mentioned at the early moments of our broadcast to you tonight, air temperatures with wind chill factors 20 degrees or below here in Georgia tonight. A big cold front has come through the southeast. There was rain today in Martinsville. There was snow early today in Nashville, where we brought you the NASCAR Busch Series event, the Bell South Mobility 320, won by Randy LaJoie earlier this afternoon, although the sun did shine there. A lot of leaders coming on pit road while they work on the 6 of Sensiba. 88 car. Mike Eddy, your longtime race leader, into the attention of Doug Smokestad and the eWeb21.com crew. That is the Eaton Chevrolet team for Eddy. Put right side tires. They put a can of fuel in that machine of Elf Race Fuels in those cars this year. Eddy is down and away. He will not be first off pit road, so Eddy will give up the lead here under caution. Tim Sauter has stayed out on the racetrack, and unofficially, we believe that Sauter will be the restart leader right now. Now, Mike Eddy comes back up onto the speedway deep in the field. He's got his work cut out for him when we get ready to go green once again. Tim Taylor right behind the safety car. But it'll be Sauter and Mike Miller. Now, Miller, we believe, lost a couple of laps earlier. And again, we apologize. Our scoring system not working at peak efficiency here tonight. There's the situation with Sensiba and Russ Tuttle tangling once and twice. The second time, Sensiba spins to the right into the outside wall, cracks the wall hard. Dupuis drills the front end of the car. Nobody else can get woed down. Taylor and Lampman come sliding in. And that may have as much to do with the situations we've seen tonight as anything, Steve Burns. It could be. It's hard to stop. The track is probably a little bit dewy and damp tonight, and getting on the binders doesn't necessarily bring you to a quick stop.
Yeah, you talked about the weather system, the cold front that came through here. And, you know, race fans at home, you may not realize, as we look on board with Mike Garvey, what a dramatic difference weather can have on a racetrack. It was warm yesterday. It was almost 80 degrees, Rick, when we got down here. The track was slick, as we said, very, very warm. And then all of a sudden, bam, the cold front comes through. And folks at home, that makes such a dramatic difference to the racetrack and the way these cars handle.
Getting ready to go green here in a few more moments. Dave Sensiba's car goes out on the hook. This sets up a battle at the head of the pack, just like we saw so many times last year. Defending national champion Tim Sauter, there's the 6 of Sensiba. Heavy damage to the MCSports.com Pontiac. Tim Sauter will be the restart leader, and Alec Pinsonneau's build-a-mold Chevrolet. He's got damage to that car, bodywork damage anyway. Mike Miller has gotten back on the lead lap unofficially and is second. These are the two drivers who battled to the wire last year for the 1999 ASA national title. Sauter winning by a handful of points over Miller. Miller has run cleanly, took a long pit stop earlier, lost a lap. He's made it back up again. The car is very quick here. 20 starts, 6 poles 1 year ago with 5 victories and 14 top 5s, and second in the national championship standings. Another car coming in, that's the 6 of extensive one going in on the hook. Right behind him, the 28 of Taylor driving on the pit road. Bob Dillner, you've been patrolling pit road all night. What's the situation in the Tim Sauter pit?
Well, actually, Tim Sauter, as you know, has been very quiet tonight. They came in a little while ago, and they made a chassis adjustment to that car because they were way too tight. And that's what's happening to this track right now. Traditionally, nighttime racing will tighten up your race car. It won't turn as well. So what they did is they loosened it up, made it turn in the corner a little bit more. During this pit stop round right here, Kevin Sawinski came in. I talked to crew chief Brian Dantine, and he said that car is very good for about 5 laps. Then it gets really loose, the opposite problem of Tim Sauter. So they made a chassis adjustment there. Now, contrary to all that, Mike Eddy, the leader for many laps here in this race, he came in, changed 2 right side tires, but Doug Smokestad, the crew chief for that team, says that car is perfect. They're coming to the front.
Mike Eddy unofficially will restart back in 11th spot right behind Sawinski, who will unofficially restart 10th when we get ready to go. We show them in 12th and 13th there on the racetrack, but I believe they are 10th and 11th in the running order at this point. We've put 153 laps on the board here tonight at Lanier National Speedway. The ASA AC Delco Series on TNN Sports. It's the Discount Auto Parts 300.
Little Bell! Little Bell!
The Thompsons are finicky about their yard. That's why they depend on their Hondas. Lightweight and easy starting. Super quiet. Honda Power Equipment helps make the Thompsons' yard nice and attractive.
Little Bell!
Maybe too attractive. Call for a free brochure or visit us on the web.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires? Any road you choose. And now we've been ranked Best Original Equipment Tire for light truck vehicles and customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. BF Goodrich Tires. Take control.
It's trash cans and elbows. It's roller jam.
I'm gonna hump and pump and blow your fat ass off the track. Meow, come here, little kitty.
Roller jam. Friday at 9, 8 Central on TNN.
Take me to the bedroom.
It's that time of year again.
Indeed.
Time for special tax season discounts at America's Bedroom Superstore.
You can't do that.
Yes, I can.
No.
Yes. Choose from 50 beds and suite styles at already low prices, or Simmons Beauty Rest mattresses at final closeout prices, and receive our special tax season discount, or pay nothing for 1 full year. Now at the Bedroom Superstore.
No.
Take me to the bedroom superstore.
Hear the roar in the distance. Feel the ground begin to shake. A gentle breeze becomes a sudden wind. Woo! As a sense of panic fills the air.
What in the world? I can't believe what we just saw.
And in a frenzied rush, WCW Spring Stampede is here. Sunday, April 16th, live and only on pay-per-view.
Green flag has just reappeared here at Lanier National Speedway, Gainesville, Georgia. The Discount Auto Parts 300 for the ASA AC Delco Series on TNN Sports. Rick Benjamin, Steve Burns, topside tonight. Bob Dillner on pit road, looking at your top 3 machines. Defending national champion Tim Sauter, the restart leader. He is out in front. Mike Miller has gotten himself back onto the lead lap in the 18. He is second. And how about Scott Wimmer in that unsponsored 05, that black Monte Carlo? He is up to third, the rookie contender out of Wisconsin. The 34 car is not on the lead lap. Fourth spot at the moment, showing as the 65 car. He's quite a ways back. Make that the 5, we should say. Scott Hansen unofficially being shown in fourth spot. We believe he was several laps down after spending a lot of time on pit road early in the race. And then the 44 of Mark Dismore would be 5th, according to our unofficial rundown, as we are past halfway and getting close to the 175 laps complete mark. And we've actually put 5 or 6 laps on the board under green flag conditions, Steve Burns. That's a surprise the way things have been going here.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough and ready when we go back to green flag racing.
It is Sauter. There's a look at Hansen in the Don Finetti structural transport Ford. A little further back, there's the 1 of Garvey, 9 laps down after a long pit stop. He was involved in one of the many cautions not too long ago. He and Ricky Johnson tangled hard on the front stretch, and the Lefevre team did a nice job putting the one car back together. It's quick, but a long ways off the pace now. On board with Garvey, taking a look back at the 8 of Robbie Pyle. Now, Pyle shown 6th in our unofficial rundown and on the lead lap. Up front, good battle, taking shape. Look back at Larry Foyt, Pyle in the 8. Here's Sauter in the 9, the 18 and Miller in second spot, looking for a shot at the front spot down the back chute. Can't get the job done. Here's Wimmer trying the high groove. Wimmer in the 05 is 3rd. He'll take a run on Miller as they haul it into turn 1. Scott Wimmer moves up a lane. Sauter moves up to block him. It opens the inside line for Miller down into 3. Sauter moves low to block the 18 car. We'll see if Wimmer can close the deal up top.
Boy, that is just great racing at the point, Rick.
Wimmer is quick off the second corner. He pokes the nose of the 05 into the lead for the first time tonight. Rookie Scott Wimmer in the 05 car from 12th starting spot. He's from Wausau, Wisconsin. That's the Sierra Racing Products Wimmer Racing Chevrolet. And Scott Wimmer is your new leader on lap 179 here at Lanier National Speedway, and he is going places. He opens up a couple of car lanes.
Yep, just 24 years old, as you said, from Wausau, Wisconsin. A lot of racers come from that neck of the woods in this series. And we've got trouble again, Rick. Turn 1.
Lots of cars. Mike Eddy is up against the wall. He led more than 150 laps. I think he may be all right. Won't lose a lap. Gary St. Amant involved in that one. Eddy back on the gas. Got the car stopped, I believe, before he hit the wall, but there's smoke showing from the right side of the eWeb21.com car, and then he gets clipped by Tim Taylor. Eddy's got damage to the front valence on the left side of the car, and I think he's got a tire dragging somewhere up in front. A lot of smoke pouring off the 88 car. Now it looks like there may be fluid leaking from the right side of that car. So Mike Eddy's bid to win tonight may have come to a halt here in the second third of this 300-lap event.
And Rick, also taking a look, Rick Beebe has some damage in the 23. We don't see him right now on the screen, but he has damage as well. And it's official, there are no more good-looking race cars on this racetrack.
If you are the 5-star bodywork concessionaire tonight, you're going to have a very busy week. The Eddy crew, Doug Smokestad jumps over the wall, brings the folks down to the attention, put the attention on the 88 car. The hood goes up. Going to take a look and see where the smoke's coming from. Still running, I believe. Now it looks as though Mike may have shut the car off. I thought it was just a tire rub that was the situation there, but I think they may have more serious problems. We'll get Bob Dillner over to take a look at the 88 car, try to find out what's going on.
Rick also noticed, and just coming off pit road right now, Gary St. Amant pitted right in front of Mike Eddy, and I don't think he has any damage to that race car, one of the few.
We'll try to get another look at what happened up between turns 1 and 2. Gary St. Amant won the season opener at Lakeland USA International Speedway a couple of weeks ago. Bidding for 2 straight tonight. He has been quick, but hasn't yet shown in the lead. Dave Sensiba sustained heavy damage to the 6th car a couple of cautions ago. He's in the ambulance, Bob Dillner. What's going on? Looks like a leg problem for Sensiba.
Well, Rick, we're with him in the ambulance right now, and they're working on his foot. Dave, that was a pretty wild wreck up there. First of all, how does the foot feel?
We're a little sore. We took quite a lick, driver's side in the wall there, but not sure. Passing Russ on the outside, and he got me into me a little bit, and about had it saved, and I got hit again, and that's all I remember, hitting the wall, and got hit a couple more times. But just like to tell everybody at home we're all right, and we'll be back.
That's always good to hear, Rick. Steve?
Glad to see that Dave is getting the proper attention. Ice on that ankle. That does happen. You're down in the foot box there, and if you take a shot to the driver's door area, it can pinch the seat and the roll cage and so forth. We're also hearing that Mike Eddy is done for the night in the 88 car, that he sustained radiator damage, and that was why the smoke was showing. The Eaton Chevrolet, the eWeb21.com car, the window net's down. Mike, I'm sure, is out of the race car, and he said goodnight. As we saw at Lakeland a couple of weeks ago, not interested in running if he's not in contention for the win. So Mike Eddy's bid is done. We're still under caution at Lanier, and we'll be right back.
Are you tired of cleaning over and over again, only to have the same old stains come right back? Then don't clean your kitchen or bathroom. Zap it! Presenting Zap 2000, the professional strength restorer used by contractors for over 7 years. Zap 2000 is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Just pour it on, let it sit, and wipe it off. And in minutes, your surfaces are back like new. Zap 2000 is a restorer, not a cleaner. Ordinary cleaners only work on surface dirt, but Zap 2000 actually penetrates stains to restore surfaces to their original new shine.
You pour it out, you leave it set. There's no rubbing, there's no scrubbing. You go back a couple of minutes later and you just wipe it up and it's all done.
This shower head is clogged with hard water and mineral deposits. But look, after just one application with Zap 2000, it's restored like new. And watch as Zap 2000 goes to work on this old garden shovel. Years of rust just melt away. Zap 2000 with its fresh wintergreen scent works on porcelain, chrome, fiberglass, toilet bowls, rust, even hard water stains. In fact, Zap 2000 is so effective, it's guaranteed to remove any stain from any of these surfaces or your money back.
It restored my grout to bright white. It cleaned my tile, the bathroom surfaces. It lifted that soap scum off, cleaned the hard water stains, the rust, and the smell is fantastic.
Zap 2000 is so concentrated, just one bottle replaces over $50 worth of ordinary cleaners. Call now and receive Zap 2000 Restorer plus Zap 2000 Easy Spray Cleaner and 2 industrial Zap pads, all for only $19.95. But wait, call in the next 5 minutes and we'll double your order for free. That's right, 4 bottles of Zap 2000 for only $19.95. Operators are standing by, so call the toll-free number or send check or money order to Zap 2000, Box 2220, Agora Hills, California, 91376. Remember, call in the next 5 minutes to receive 2 free bottles of Zap 2000. Order now.
Hey, you've heard of TNN's Sofa Cinema on Thursday night. How about Saturday night at the drive-in automobile race? That's what we've got here at Lanier National Speedway in Gainesville, Georgia. One of the unique things about coming to this track, Steve, and I recall it well from 10 years ago when I was here to do a couple of Busch Series events. They've got a tiered parking area along the backstretch, and I'll bet there are 200 cars up there and trucks and so forth. Plenty of fans staying out of the cold but enjoying a great show tonight in their vehicles.
I was going to say, that's about my style right there. the people in the grandstand are my heroes.
Yeah.
As cold as it is, as you said, in the 20s, it's more like a Green Bay Packers game here.
That's right.
But up there on the backstretch, get in your car, turn the heater on. Oh, that's perfect.
Plenty of folks also parked outside turns 1 and 2. If we can take a look at that, a lot of folks pulled right up to the racetrack. As you see that low line of cars along the backstretch, same thing prevails all the way around 1 and 2. And there's an upper deck, you might say, outside 1 and 2 of folks parked up there to enjoy it as well. All kidding aside, it is bone-chilling cold and windy here tonight. And when we got here this afternoon to get the day's activities underway, one of the ASA officials, Vice President of the series, Mark Gundrum, said, hey, welcome to Eagle River, Wisconsin, to the National Snowmobile Championships. That's what it seemed like here. Great racing action, though, tonight, and we are sure glad you're with us here on TNN Sports. Hey, if you love the movie The Magnificent Seven, you'll enjoy the weekly series, The Magnificent Seven. They hand out justice every Wednesday night at 10 Eastern and Pacific, and it's a big part of your favorite night, Steve, Action Wednesday on TNN.
The Magnificent Seven, is that about Gary St. Amant?
Hey, he was pretty magnificent in Lakeland and not too shabby tonight either.
Hey, you know, Gary St. Amant, one thing the guys that I talked to in the garage area said yesterday, he is one of the best in this series using the brake pedal, or not overusing it, let's put it that way. And that gives him a big advantage on a short track like this.
Let's update the Mike Eddy story. Led the race for probably 130, 140 laps tonight. Got caught up in the last tangle that brought off the caution. We were saying that perhaps they were not going to run the rest of the race tonight, but Bob Diller, it looks as though they're thrashing pretty hard on the 88.
Rick, unlike Lakeland, they are trying to get back in the race because Mike Eddy does realize now that points are very, very crucial. You can see 5 or 6 guys just thrashing on this motor right now. Let me tell you what happened. The bottom end of the radiator broke a hole in it. But here's the difficult part. With this new engine, it is very difficult to actually get to that radiator. And you can see they're just about to take it out right now. They're going to put a new radiator in there, and he'll be back out on the track.
Also working on Tracy Goodson's 0 car. We're looking at 191 laps on the board, almost down to lap 200, 100 to go. And your top 15 cars, we'll take a look. Scott Wimmer in the 05 will be your restart leader. Tim Sauter will restart second in the 9. Mike Miller third in the 18. The 5-car Scott Hansen is being called on the lead lap, we're told. That's amazing because I know he lost 2 laps earlier.
Yeah.
The 44 of Mark Dismore 5th and the 8 of Robbie Pyle 6th. We'll show you what happened from our look at turn 1. Larry Foyt goes around. Goodson clips him. Eddie got shoved right up the racetrack, and you can see fluid from the front of the 88. He must have sustained that radiator damage. St. Amant with a full 360 there in turn 2.
Yep, and Rick Beebe got a piece of that action as well.
Wow.
Hey, Rick, we ought to mention, too, 83 Joey Clanton was running as high as 4th tonight. He is also behind pit wall. The hood's up on that car.
We can take a look. If you can see the number of cars that are in what you'd call the garage area here behind the pit wall at Lanier tonight. By our count, Steve, I'd say there are 10 or 12 race cars back there being worked on. The 19 of Dennis Lampin. You see the 45 of Greg Usher. Philip Cranifis' machine. Dave Sensiba's 6 car. Dave Doran. Ton of other race cars. We are ready to go green on lap 193 here at Lanier. And Scott Wimmer is your leader. That is chem dry that's down on the track to soak up the moisture. Everybody blows it off the racetrack as they work through the first lap of green after that long caution. Second spot to the 9 of Sauter. Mike Miller is third. The 34 car is not on the lead lap, but they're showing Scott Hansen in fourth in car number 5, and that's a great story. We'll get Bob Dillner over to the Don Finetti pits to check that situation out. Here comes Mike Garvey to the outside of the Tecumseh Chevrolet, not on the lead lap. Mike missed 9 laps earlier due to a wreck and repairs done to the Lefevre Motorsports machine. Out front, it's Wimmer stretching the lead to about 4 car lengths over the 9 of Sauter. Another 4 car lengths back to Miller. Then you have the 34 not on the lead lap, the 1 not on the lead lap. But a good battle for 4th. The 5 and the 8. Scott Hansen is 4th in the 5. Young Robbie Pyle is 5th in the 8. Steve Burns, a good night for the rookies, so.
Yeah, as we said, 15 rookies in this show made the field. Now, Robbie Pyle in the 8, he was going to test here at this racetrack on the way back from Lakeland, but they got caught up in a big wreck there, so they had to take the car back to the shop. Crew chief Jeff Miller said they got the car worked on back in Ohio, and then came here, but they missed the opportunity to test. Hey, they're doing a great job.
They sure are. We'll get more on the Scott Hansen story in just a couple of moments from Bob Dillner. Robbie Pyle in the Young Motorsports car arrowing in on Hansen. This is a battle for position. They are running 4th and 5th. The word we're getting from ASA Scoring is that Hansen, with all those pit stops early on, never did lose a lap in the 5 car. So some very smart pit work, I would say, by Don Finetti's team to keep him out in front of the safety car in the early going.
Yeah, he did catch a good break, though. He had a flat tire, and I believe, Rick, if memory serves, he changed that tire under caution.
Garvey, we're on board the Tecumseh Chevrolet, taking a look back at that battle for 4th spot. Watching Mike Miller working in 3rd. Your leader is still Wimmer with Tim Sauter in 2nd. The 8 and the 5 dueling for a spot right now. The 5 car, Don Finetti's Ford Taurus. The 8 car, Robbie Pyle in the Young Motorsports Chevrolet.
Interesting thing about Robbie Pyle's team, Rick Benjamin, his crew chief, Jeff Miller, actually is up on the roof as a spotter, as opposed to being down the pits. Miller choosing to be up on the roof.
Getting plenty of help. Here's a place in a night when you would need your spotter's help with all the traffic that we've seen and all the spins. Leaders are on the back straightaway. Kevin Sawinski watching things in the 21 car. We have him back in 6th position now, and he is certainly a threat. Coming up on 95 laps to go. Lap 205 about to go up on the board here at Lanier National Speedway, just north and east of the city of Atlanta. We're about 30 miles north and east of downtown, right off Interstate 85. And if you're a road racing fan, we're directly across the street from Road Atlanta, where there have been many, many great battles down through the years. The American Le Mans Series, the featured attraction at Road Atlanta these last couple of years. Here's Pyle to the inside of Hansen with Sawinski watching. This is for 4th spot now. Hansen in the 5 has the spot. Pyle trying to take it away from him. Robbie Pyle, a former champion in the ARCA Pro 4 Series in the Midwest, moving up to ASA competition, very, very strong.
He also won an ARCA race last year in a Dodge in Xenia, Ohio, the Killcare Speedway. So he's got, he's got some credentials.
And he's showing you his hand here tonight. This is for 4th spot. The 8 is Robbie Pyle. The 5 is the great veteran Scott Hansen. The 21 is the great veteran and former national champion of this series, Kevin Sawinski. Hansen goes way high, opens the door for Sawinski to move through and take the spot away. So give Pyle 4th and Sawinski 5th. Hansen comes right back at him, though.
Sawinski, the 1997 ASA champion, went south, had a truck ride for a while in the NASCAR division, tried to race a few Busch races, and had some success, actually, in the truck series.
Sure did.
Had a 5th place, I believe, at Martinsville. But again, he said the situation wasn't right, and we talked about that earlier. They want to get in competitive race cars and race for the win.
And how about Butch Miller closing in on that battle as well, a little further back. Bob Diller, I am amazed that Scott Hansen is in contention. What's going on down there?
Well, Rick, he pulled us all. He is on the lead lap, and he's going pretty good. That Craig Smokestadt, his crew chief, just told me he doesn't look that good, though, right now. They are not happy with that car, even though he is up front. Actually, Kevin Sawinski working underneath him right now. They won't pit again, so he's just hanging on.
Hansen backed up quickly off the drop of the green. Qualified well here tonight. Started toward the front. Smoke showing. Larry Foyt is back on the track in the 14. Talk about a modified, missing all the front body work off the A.J. Foyt, Butch Miller, Harris Pontiac there. Hansen qualified 13th tonight. Got to the front, backpedaled quickly, pitted twice, and is being shown on the lead lap. And he is dueling with Pyle, coming right back at him now as they fight it out for third spot. Make that fourth spot. We're looking up front at the leader. Scott Wimmer has pulled away from Tim Sauter in the 9. This battle is back in the pack a little more. Butch Miller's climbing into contention. He's going to threaten Sawinski for that position a little further back. Wimmer is in turn 3. He's got a quarter of a track lead over the second place car, the 9 of Tim Sauter. As we watch the battle further back, Gracie Goodson is back on the speedway. Third spot right now is Mike Miller. Fourth is Hansen in the 5. Fifth is Sawinski in the 21. Sixth is Miller in the 52. They've all gotten by Robbie Pyle, who has dropped all the way back to 7th in the white number 8 car there. Jack Landis in the 07 unofficially sitting 9th, and Russ Tuttle in the 16 unofficially 10th. That would put Gary St. Amant in 11th, Rick Beebe in 12th. Here's Sawinski now working his way to the outside, and Mike Miller, Butch Miller, going to the inside, wants the position.
The thing about Butch Miller is on these short tracks, Rick, if you were to look at his lap times, he runs the same time lap after lap after lap. He is so consistent. And while other guys are trying to speed up and, hurry up and pass, Butch is just sitting there riding, saving his tires, running the consistent lap times.
If you had to pick a guy at this stage of the race who might well have something for your leader, Scott Wimmer, in the final 100 laps, you'd think Butch Miller might well be the guy. There's your leader, rookie Scott Wimmer in the Wimmer Sierra Motorsports 05. Pit crews just watching. 80 laps to go at Lanier.
You see George's got himself a new ride. Strong, runs good, turns on the dime. Got George so shook up, he's talking about getting that team roping.
Say, what kind of horse is this anyway?
It's a cutting horse.
New Husky lawn tractors from Tractor Supply. With up to 22 horsepower and a 46-inch deck, they've even got George Straight out cutting.
It's true, but only on a Husky. Ready to ride now at Tractor Supply Company.
If you're building a new home, remember, no subfloor holds up better than one built with plywood. Smart builders use it. Smart homeowners ask for it. Plywood from Georgia Pacific, because you live on your floor.
TNN Action Wednesdays. One hot night. This week on 18 Wheels of Justice. Buckle up. Chance gets involved in the world of racing.
And driving stock. That's exciting.
Those banks should fall like ripe peaches.
You're Mr. Invisible.
Helping a friend escape his past and keep his family. 18 Wheels of Justice. Wednesday at 9 Eastern. Only on TNN Action Wednesdays. One hot night.
A reminder, if you're looking for Action Wednesdays, you've come to the right place. Deadman's Gun, 18 Wheels of Justice, and the Magnificent 7. It's all part of TNN's Action Wednesdays, starting at 8 Eastern and Pacific every week on TNN.
I've always said Wednesdays are a great night for action.
Absolutely. You say any night's a good night for action. I know you.
Exactly.
Plenty of action tonight here at Lanier National Speedway in Gainesville, Georgia. The Discount Auto Parts 300, round 2 of the year 2000's ASA AC Delco Series National Championship battle. And Steve Burns, this is a guy we did not have on our minds, really, when we came into the booth here tonight. But Scott Wimmer is waxing him at the moment. We showed you the 05 a moment ago. Here's Kevin Sawinski in the 21 car trying to hold off Scott Hansen. Hansen amazingly being shown on the lead lap here as they duke it out behind the leader. First place right now is Wimmer. Second spot, almost a half a track back, is the 9 of Tim Sauter. Then you have to page back quite a ways to the third place battle, which is Mike Miller and Butch Miller. And right behind him, the battle for 5th, the 21 of Sawinski and the 5 of Scott Hansen. You've got the 3rd through 7th place cars nose to tail. Here's the 5 car to the inside as we look at Wimmer all alone, putting Robbie Pyle a lap down in a moment. Pyle was up in the top 5 just a few laps ago, but he has fallen badly off the pace.
You know, you're talking about Scott Wimmer, just 24 years old. He has some experience in the Hooters Cup Series. But, Rick, you're right. I mean, when we sat down to talk about who was going to run well here tonight, who would be in contention for the lead, the name Scott Wimmer did not come to the forefront of our discussion.
Second career start in ASA. Ran at Kenley in 1998. Finished 27th there. The 05 car. Wimmer, a stout contender. I've seen him run at Florida during speed weeks in February the last couple of years at New Smyrna, when late model drivers from all over the U.S. and Canada gather for the Florida All-Star Series during speed weeks. Wimmer has won several of those features in not an ASA car, a local late model car. Here is the battle deeper in the pack. Mike Miller running 3rd in the 18 a moment ago. There were 5 cars bunched up fighting for 3rd. Butch Miller, there he is in the 52, has climbed to 4th. Now remember, Butch started 20th tonight in Leroy Group's 52 car, so he has really made a move. Kevin Sawinski is 6th in the 21 with 64 to go here at Lanier. 7th spot right now belongs to Hansen in the 5, and then Gary St. Amant is 8th. Unofficially, we have Jack Landis sitting 9th, and Russ Tuttle. Great job tonight for Tuttle. We have him running in 10th spot ahead of Mark Dismore. Ricky Johnson's back on the racetrack. Rick Beebe is about to go a lap down. Dismore just going a lap down to the 05 of Wimmer, who has really found the right combination here in the last 50 or 60 laps as we work toward the checkered flag. There's Sawinski trying to hold off Hansen and St. Amant. Gary St. Amant, the winner of the season opener at Lakeland 2 weeks ago. Bob Diller, they haven't quite found the right combination tonight.
No, actually, they had some damage on their right front fender. They changed tires, left sides on their last pit stop, and they thought the car was going to be fine. But Gary told me before the race he's actually trying to run the inside groove. He's running 6th right now, and I'm standing here in turns 1 and 2, and he can't keep that car down there as far down as he did earlier in the race.
St. Amant loose off the second corner that time. Had to wrestle the car to keep it straight. Does so nicely. Right behind him, though, he's got the 5 of Hansen, the 07 of Jack Landis, and they are battling for spots back in 7th and 8th spot. 3rd place right now, a little bit ahead, belongs to Mike Miller. Butch Miller is 4th. Kevin Sawinski, though, sitting 5th once more. Some of the cars heavily damaged, dropping to the inside up in turn 2. Tristan Dupuis, Larry Foyt, and the 0 of Tracy Goodson all way off the pace, and they're taking up valuable real estate down low. Up in front as we watch the 9 of Tim Sauter. That's the 22 of Ricky Johnson. And your leader, Scott Wimmer in the 05, all alone. Johnson many, many laps down. Tonight's pole sitter. Wimmer's got this one firmly in hand. He is almost a quarter of a track ahead of Tim Sauter at Lanier.
Remember back when it didn't cost a lot to be the coolest kid on 2 wheels? Well, those days are back. For a limited time, get a Yamaha V-Star from just $89 a month. It's the Yamaha Turn Back Time sales event. So see your Yamaha dealer today, because you won't find a deal this attractive anywhere else.
The way I see it, you either get the best parts for your car or you settle for less. You either find what you need or you find yourself spinning your wheels. That's why you're either shopping at Discount Auto Parts or you took a wrong turn somewhere. Now, some people might say I'm pretty opinionated. Well, remember, I do tend to see things in black and white. Discount Auto Parts, the place to start when you need parts.
You didn't care that I was divorced with a bad credit history, or that I'm on disability, or that nobody else would refinance my home. You saw past all that and helped me out. Paid off 3 mortgages, 5 credit cards, and found a little extra for home improvements. So here I am today with good credit again and a nice house. Thank you, Money Store. You believed in me. Sincerely, Barbara Labby.
The Money Store. 1-800-LOAN-YES.
No other cleaners is fast. When it's got to be clean and it's got to be fast, it's got to be Grease Lightning. We'll spray wash 1 tire after using Grease Lightning 1 without. White walls turn white again without back-breaking brushing and scrubbing. It's great for greasy motors. Greased Lightning races through kitchen grease and bathroom soap scum. Thousands of uses. Inside or outside, if you want to get it clean, the answer is Greased Lightning.
Tonight's exclusive TNN Sports coverage of the Discount Auto Parts 300 is being brought to you by Greased Lightning, multi-purpose degreaser. Welcome back to Lanier National Speedway in Gainesville, Georgia. I'm Rick Benjamin with Steve Burns, Bob Dillner on pit road. Your leader, unbelievably, rookie Scott Wimmer. We showed you a graphic a few moments ago. His second career start in ASA. Now, you might think, well, he ran the first race at Lakeland. No, he ran at Kenley, North Carolina 2 years ago. He missed the show at Lakeland 2 weeks ago. They were leading the last chance race, the non-qualifiers race, the day before the feature. A bolt went through the radiator. The 05, they didn't finish. They didn't run the race. His first start this season, Steve Burns, he's almost to the house with 50 to go here.
Yeah, 24 years old, and if you love a Cinderella story, this is a guy to root for because he has literally come out of nowhere.
Wimmer has done a terrific job tonight. Bob Diller, how is his dad taking all this down in the pits?
Well, I walked up to him, and he just gave me a thumbs up. Hey, I'm down here, and you're talking about rooting for people. I'm rooting for Scott Wimmer right now because it's an awesome story. We have a car going into the wall in the first turn.
We do.
Tim Sauter, a tire down right front. He's in the wall.
Tim Sauter with a hard lick into the concrete. Caution is on the speedway. That's the last thing the Wimmer family wanted to see here because Scott Wimmer had built up almost half a track over Sauter. The good news is Sauter was running second if you're a Wimmer fan at this point because Sauter was the only guy into contention, and Tim, the defending series champion, with that tire down off the rim, as you can see there. That's one BF Goodrich that won't be seeing any more racetrack action tonight. The Build-A-Mold crew quickly over the wall. They'll put right side tires on the 9 car. Tough break for Tim Sauter. He will probably go a lap down here, try to get that tire changed under caution. They'll check him for damage, see if he can get back out before the safety car returns. Scoreboard shows it'll be lap 260 next time by. There'll be 40 to go. Good job getting him down and away. They haven't checked the right front corner. He's got heavy damage. That wheel's not turning on the right front corner. He's going to have to come around and come back in. Show you what happened here.
Yeah, he goes into turn 1. Oh, it's already off the rim.
He had been running for a long time with body damage on the right front side. Wonder if perhaps it might have cut the tire. You saw that the body work was damaged there from an earlier incident. Sauter's coming back on the track to try to stay on the lead lap, but the right front is locked up. They've got a lot of work to do on that machine. Now, Scott Hansen is on pit road. The black flag is waving for the defending ASA National Champion. There you see he's flattened that tire again by running it with it not being able to turn. Evidently, the hub is locked up on the car, so they're going to have to pull the hood, and Sauter will lose some laps. Let's finish up with a little more on the Scott Wimmer situation. Back downstairs to Bob Dillner.
Well, Rick, we're back down here with Ron Wimmer, his dad. Ron, I told on camera just before, that you gave me a thumbs up. You guys are pumped. I mean, everybody's got their hands in the air. This is an awesome run for your son.
A very good run. We're really happy with it. Right now, the way he's running, there isn't anybody running on the same times he is, so we're going to keep him out there, and let's hope and pray that we can bring this one home today.
Hey, Rick, something interesting about this car, actually. It's the only left-hander chassis. That's a make left-hander chassis in the field today.
And it's got some unique design features, and I know, Bob, you'll tell us more about that car in the moments to come here tonight. But he's your leader in the 05 out of Wausau, Wisconsin. Second career start for the rookie for the Sierra Racing Products Chevrolet. We'll see if he can close the deal when we come back.
Are you one of the millions of American males who would like increased sexual energy? If you've been considering Viagra as a solution, consider something different. All-natural Enerx. Clinical studies show various ingredients of Enerx enhance sexual energy, increasing desire, performance, and satisfaction. Enerx is all natural with no side effects. With Enerx, you'll feel the increased energy within minutes and with no chemicals. We're so sure you and your mate will be completely satisfied. We'll offer you a 30-day, no questions asked, full refund. Enerx stimulates sexual energy by expanding the blood vessels, causing increased blood flow to specific areas of the body. Unleash the power of Enerx now.
Call 1-800-284-9227 in the next 10 minutes and find out how you can save 30% off the retail price. Take advantage of our special TV offer. Call 1-800-284-9227.
ECW Wrestling in the Thrill Zone on TNN. ECW holds on to the TV title belt, but not without paying the price. ECW Wrestling, Friday at 8 Eastern on TNN.
Sometimes buying jewelry can be a difficult experience.
3, 2. Hi, I'm Carmela Richards. You are watching Value.
But when you shop on Value Vision, we'll make you feel right at home. Look for Value Vision and the New York collection April 28th and see what all the excitement's about.
Hear the roar in the distance. Feel the ground begin to shake. A gentle breeze becomes a sudden wind. As a sense of panic fills the air.
What in the world? I can't believe what we just saw!
And in a frenzied rush, WCW Spring Stampede is here. Sunday, April 16th, live and only on pay-per-view.
44 laps remain tonight at the Discount Auto Parts 300 in Gainesville, Georgia. Lanier National Speedway here on TNN Sports. Round 2 of the ASA AC Delco National Championship Series for the year 2000. Amazing story. Rookie Scott Wimmer, his second career ASA start, leading. Your second place car on the 18 of Mike Miller. Steve Burns, there's almost half a track between them. Wimmer's got about 8 lap cars between he and Mike Miller. Very comfortable cushion at this stage of the race.
Yeah, he is absolutely checked out, and the most important thing is he's got clear racetrack in front of him.
Coming off that last caution for Tim Sauter, Bob Dillner is watching the work on the 9 car. We'll get an update from him in a couple of moments, but here's Miller trying to work by lap traffic. He's got Tristan Dupuis and Robbie Pyle in front of him. Pyle had problems in the 8 car. He was up in the top 5 about 100 laps ago, and boy, he dropped anchor and backpedaled quickly. Miller's second. Everybody else between he and Wimmer a lap car. Let's get an update on Tim Stauter's woes tonight to Bob Dillner.
Well, they're working on the right front suspension on the number 9 build-a-mold car. We have Tim Stauter with us, and Tim, it just looks like pop goes the time.
Yeah, we had a great car all night. The AB Performance build-a-mold Chevrolet was awesome. We were just riding around out there, and lap times were staying good, and all of a sudden the right front just went pop, and I tried to keep it off the fence, but I got in there and broke a rotor, and looks like we bent a spindle, so I don't think we're going to make it back out here tonight.
Tough break indeed for the defending series champion Tim Sauter from Nacita, Wisconsin. Your second place car, the 18 of Mike Miller, right up under the back end of Robbie Pyle's lap machine. Butch Miller is third in the 52, maybe the best drive of the night from 20th starting spot for the 3-time ASA champion. His second race back in the series after many years in NASCAR competition. And Sawinski, the 97 series champion, he's fourth in the 21 car as the laps wind down. We've got 25 to go next time by. Miller is third, Sawinski's fourth, and you can see the yellow car right behind him. How about Gary St. Amant, who won the season opener? He has worked hard to get that car back up to fifth. Not the best race car on the track by any means tonight, Steve Burns.
No, but he was involved in one of those accidents, spun, got turned around, but as you said, he's fought his way back. Great run for Gary St. Amant.
Third, fourth, and fifth very much in contention. The 8 car is not on the lead lap, and the 07 of Jack Landis, we were thinking he might be. The word is from ASA Scoring, he is not. And again, we apologize. Our scoring computer not with us here at this point of the action tonight, so we're trying to keep you updated on where these drivers are running. The 5 car, though, that's Scott Hansen behind. He has been shown on the lead lap for quite some time. He's in contention. We would put Hansen back in 7th, the final car on the lead lap. Russ Tuttle unofficially sitting 8th in the 16 car, and he is 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. Look at Hansen splitting the lap traffic there. Now we're told that the 07 of Landis is on the lead lap, so he is being shown in 6th position. So we correct that and we apologize. Your leader, though, continues to be the 05 of Wimmer. This is a battle amongst some of the lap cars. The yellow freight machine and Paul Dallenbach. He's been in the wall once tonight. The 34, Wayne Lehman, that's the ST Motorsports car. And how about Joey Clanton in the 83? Ran in the top 5 during the first 100 laps tonight from Stockbridge, Georgia. Did a nice job. He's gotten caught up in a couple of scrambles, and he's off the pace right now. The 40 car, Brandon Sperling had done a nice job. He came from the final row tonight to get into contention, but he, too, had gotten caught up in one of the many, many cautions. Unofficially, 16 caution periods so far tonight. virtually everybody has been caught up in one of them, at least. Many drivers, many more than one time. There's your leader. From Wausau, Wisconsin, the 05, and young Scott Wimmer. And he has got this thing wired if he can stay out of trouble as he works through the lap traffic. And Steve Burns, based on what we've seen here tonight, that might not be an easy task for the youngster with 18 laps to go.
No, but what an amazing story, Rick. I mean, you can't stress it enough. A guy in just his second career start racing against veterans like Butch Miller and Kevin Sawinski, Butch Miller, Mike Eddy, and here he is on the verge of winning his first career race. Wimmer went to the point on lap 179, so he's led 105 laps at this point unofficially, and he has been untouchable since he went to the front. Be interesting to hear from him in victory lane in a couple of moments if he can hang on here. Have him tell us just exactly how stout that car's been. Inside rookie Paul Dallenbach, Wally's younger brother. Wimmer moving around the 67 car from 12th on the grid tonight to first, so they were quick all weekend long. Just looking at his stats, he's from Wausau, Wisconsin, which I believe is the same hometown as the veteran Dave Martin. Absolutely. Wonder if he drives in wingtips. I don't think so, but we know Dave does. Sure does. Now, generationally, probably not. Take a look back. Your leader down at turn 1 will show you where the second place car is. It's not any of those machines. Not any of those machines either. Mike Miller is second in the 18 car, and you got to go a long way back. Miller is out of turn 3 and 4 right now, working to the outside of Mike Garvey, 9 laps down in the one car. There's Miller riding in second. Good run for the Janet King Pontiac driver from 11th to 2nd tonight. And this will be a big boost to Mike Miller after all the troubles he had at Lakeland 2 weeks ago, where he spun the car on pit road and had motor woes and ended up having his scorecard pulled toward the end of the race. You know, he got black flagged at Lakeland, and you know what? The class guy that he is, he stood up in the drivers' meeting and apologized to his fellow competitors for his behavior on the racetrack, said he just completely lost his temper and felt badly about it, but a class act for Mike Miller. 10 laps to go tonight at Lanier. 10 to go. You're on board the Greased Lightning camera. That sponsorship on Rick Beebe's number 23 car tonight. The Jerry Gundovan All-Star Racing Pontiac. There's Miller and the Janet King machine riding second. Onto the backstretch, we zero in on the battle for 5th and 6th. Gary St. Amant. And the 5 car of Scott Hansen, he is 5th. Kevin Sawinski right there in the 21 running 4th. Now remember, Sawinski ran in the top 3 at Lakeland, and of course the race was won by St. Amant, so those drivers will solidify their point positions. Trouble. Greg Stewart loops it coming off 2, side slaps the backstretch inside wall. We are going to have caution, I believe, on the speedway here, and this could set up a final 5-lap situation under ASA rules. The last 5 laps have to be run under the green. Yellow flag indeed flies for the 17th time tonight by our count on lap 294. So we will go caution. The lap count will hold the next time by, and it'll set up a 5-lap sprint. Now, if Mike Miller has got anything, if he's going to be able to restart behind the leader, this would be a time for him to show it, but Wimmer's shown no sign of backing up. And what must Scott Wimmer be thinking right now? He had this thing won, and the caution comes out, Rick. Wimmer, I'm sure, will have plenty of time to think about it while Greg Stewart's machine gets hooked off the racetrack on the backstretch. There's your leader coming up with 5 to go, and we'll come right back for the restart at Lanier.
Well, hello there.
He was born a country boy.
My, it's been a long, long time.
And he loved to sing a country song.
Make the world go away.
Time Life Music proudly presents the Elvis Presley Country Collection.
From a jack to a king. I'm loneliness to
You'll get 30 unforgettable songs.
Just take good care of her.
And when Elvis sang a country song, it came straight from the heart.
You give your hand to me, and then you say hello.
Get the Elvis Country Collection on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes.
Well, I'm in my blue, to go again.
30 classics.
What a rainbow turns.
Songs every country fan loves.
Your cheating heart will make you weep.
So many great memories. so many beautiful performances.
Welcome to my world.
Then audition other great Elvis collections.
Won't you come on in?
Satisfaction guaranteed.
You were always on my mind.
But remember, Elvis Country is not in stores.
You were always on my mind.
So please call now.
Call 1-800-656-7744 to order Elvis Country for $19.99 for 2 CDs or 2 cassettes plus $3.99 shipping and handling. That's 1-800-656-7744 or send check or money order to Elvis Country, Department 8, Richmond, Virginia 23280. Call 1-800-656-7744.
You keep an eye on the websites your kids are looking at. You make sure your wife's cell phone battery is fully charged. And you haven't missed a day of work in 12 years. So it comes as no surprise that your auto parts are AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. AC Delco Automotive Parts.
Finally, spring. And guarantees are in full bloom. Now, during Sears Days, hurry in for the season's lowest prices on lots of the best brands going. The only thing limited about this sale is how long it goes on. Sears Days, don't miss them.
Busy morning? We've got you covered. Burger King has delicious new pancake minis. Light buttermilk silver dollar pancakes with rich syrup so you can dip them and eat them on the go. Just 99 cents for a limited time. Only at Burger King.
Hey, you want to join us for this? TNN Sports kicks off the Arena football season. The defending Arena Bowl champs, the Albany Firebirds, take on the Nashville Cats. Arena football, you can get it all April 13th at 8 o'clock Eastern and Pacific only here on TNN Sports.
And we call that the war on the floor.
I knew you were going to say that.
Base cars off.
You didn't give me a chance to give you the proper setup, but we'll work on it.
I had to jump in.
Maybe in 2 weeks at Hickory when we come to you on Saturday afternoon, April 22nd. We'll be able to polish that up. 5 to go. The green is out. The 05 of rookie Scott Wimmer is your leader. He's led since lap 179. Mike Miller up to second spot in the 18, trying to get around Marquis Dismore in the 44. He's a lapped car. Miller with 4 to go will have a shot perhaps if he can turn up the wick. He's got clean racetrack now and some time, but he's got a long way to go. We'll see if he can make a move on the 05.
Yep, and Miller had to get around the lap traffic, and it allowed Wimmer just to take off.
The best thing for Mike Miller's chance at this point would be another quick caution. The last 5 laps have to be green in ASA. They don't have to be run consecutively, though. And another caution would certainly give Mike Miller a shot. Looking at some lap traffic down the front stretch now. As we take a look at the lead 2 cars up on the back straightaway. Scott Wimmer in the 05. Mike Miller in the 18 running first and second. Wimmer outside Dave Doran's machine. White flag is in the air. Last trip around Lanier National Speedway. There's your leader up onto the backstretch. Rookie Scott Wimmer is going to win in his second career start to run the second race of the season in the ASA AC Delco Series. Scott Wimmer from Wausau, Wisconsin is the winner. Rest of the field takes the checkered flag tonight. Mike Miller grabs second. Unofficially, third spot to Butch Miller. Fourth to Scott Hansen. Fifth to Kevin Sawinski. A happy Ron Wimmer and crew in the pits taking a look at their son and their driver going to victory lane in round 2 of the year 2000 season. To Bob Dillner.
They're excited down here is an understatement. Ron Wimmer, Scott Wimmer's dad, he is just jubilant right now. What are you telling him on the radio?
I just told him it's an unbelievable race. He got in a little scuffle there earlier. He was upset over that, and he come right from the back, and he got the lead. I mean, that's unbelievable. First time, first race. What can I say? Thanks to all the people that helped, and we're looking for a sponsor. Good time, I guess, to put that in. And thank you to Webco that did our shirts, and Left-Hander, and just everybody that's helped us out. It's hard to remember everybody, but what a race. Awesome.
Well, for Ron Wimmer, he's a very happy man. Father's Day comes just a couple of months early for him.
Great run tonight for that team, for their young driver, and a proud dad indeed here at Lanier National Speedway. Plenty more to come on TNN Sports. Keep it right here.
You got your pickup looking great.
Thanks.
How about a lift?
Sure. Where would you like to go?
How about Pep Boys?
That's a great idea, because right now, Pep Boys is offering free installation of quality Gabriel Pro Rider premium shocks for your truck, van, or SUV. That's right, free installation up to a $40 value when you buy Gabriel Pro Rider shocks.
Truck's riding great. Glad you suggested Pep Boys. That makes two of us. Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
We're the Tractor Supply Yard Assault Squad.
Our job?
Toughest lawns in America.
Our mission?
The right mower?
At the right price.
Right now, the Yard Assault Squad's ready to help take care of your yard with special prices on all Husky lawn equipment, like this big 20-horse, 46-inch cut for only $15.99. If you've got a job to do, turn the folks at Tractor Supply loose on it. You'll get the tractor you need, the accessories you need,
and the team you need.
Only at Tractor Supply.
Wagner brakes make any car feel high performance.
Yep, they're Wagner brakes.
So choose Wagner, from the world's leader in brake pads.
From the place you've trusted forever, the brand you can trust just as long, the Bring Ace home sale. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires? Any road you choose. And now we've been ranked Best Original Equipment Tire for light truck vehicles and customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. BF Goodrich Tires. Take control.
Our coverage tonight of the Discount Auto Parts 300 on TNN Sports has been brought to you by BF Goodrich Tires. Take control. Let's meet the happy young winner in Victory Lane. Here's Bob Dillon.
Well, Scott Wimmer, needless to say, he is very excited. He wins in his first ASA race. Just tell me how excited you are, man.
It's unbelievable. I had an awesome car. Got to dedicate this race to my uncle, Larry Degens. He's the one that keeps me going. He gave me the drive to race, and that's why I'm racing, is because of him.
Somebody that you know knew you would run well here. This track is awfully like Wisconsin Dells. Tell me about that story.
Joe Shear has been an idol my whole life, and we were always talking, joking about racetracks, and he said that I should go down to Lanier and run, and he was right. I mean, we're very close to the Wisconsin Dells track, and you know, I can't say enough about Joe Shear. He helped me a lot in my career too, and I don't know what else to say.
How did you get this done here? I mean, a rookie winning in his first try. This is unbelievable. How did you get this win here tonight?
I don't know. Unsponsored race car. You know, we got a good team. They're all volunteer. I got one full-time guy at the shop, and we work hard. And, you know, left-hander chassis, Sierra Racing Products, Leo Ceramic Tile, all the people that have helped me, you know, this is all for them, because without them, I wouldn't be here.
I'll go give your dad a hug. He's a very happy man right now. Congratulations to Scott Wimmer. Rick, this is just an unbelievable night here at Lanier.
One of the great things about ASA AC Delco Series racing, too, it's the American Dream Series in a lot of ways, and young drivers get a shot. They can show their skills, and Scott Wimmer certainly showed us plenty here tonight. He mentioned his uncle, Larry Degens, tragically killed in an accident in Wisconsin at Kaukauna more than 20 years ago in a wreck with the late Alan Kulwicki. And Larry Degens was one of the guys who was certainly a rising star in late model racing across the country back in the 80s.
Well, and the thing I love about this series, Rick, Scott Wimmer just said it. He has a volunteer crew, one full-time guy helping him work on the race cars. And you're right, it's an American dream. The kid came out here and he beat the best short track racers in the country.
When you whip Mike Miller and Butch Miller, you've done a night's work, no doubt about it. Back downstairs to Bob Dillon. And we'll get downstairs to Bob in just a couple of moments. Mike Miller there finishing second tonight. And we'll see if Bob can hear us. Bob, Mike Miller has to be pretty happy with his run tonight.
Mike Miller indeed is very happy. Mike, you knew you were going to run well here, but can you believe that Scott Wimmer, the rookie, beat you out there?
Yeah, Scott had just an awesome car. Hey, we brought the Jenny King Pontiac here this weekend to finish in the top 5, complete the laps, not get in trouble. And there's about 800 times that I could have wrecked the car, and you know, God was with us, and we didn't wreck it. And I'm just tickled to death.
Mike Miller a lot better than at Lakeland. He's in second place.
Finishes second tonight, gets some good points in the ASA AC Delco Series. Gary St. Amant, we're told, by the way, will retain the point lead tonight with a top 10 finish after winning at Lakeland. We come to you in 2 more weeks. Steve Burns, I'm looking forward to it. Easter weekend on Saturday afternoon, the 22nd of April. We'll be at Hickory Motor Speedway in North Carolina. Talk about bull rings. That is a bull ring.
I was going to say, if you like short track racing and you like what you saw tonight, you better watch Hickory.
300 laps on a very, very tight 3/8 mile racetrack, and we look forward to bringing you that coverage. 1 o'clock Eastern, the ASA AC Delco Series from Hickory Motor Speedway on Saturday, the 22nd of April. Hope you can be with us. Tomorrow we'll recap this event and all the weekend's motorsports. We'll set the table for some big events tomorrow, too. Hope you can join us for TNN's Race Day at 11 o'clock Eastern and Pacific. Tomorrow, we'll be back in our Charlotte studios. Our congratulations to a first-time ASA winner, Scott Wimmer, and the entire Sierra Racing Parts and Wimmer Motorsports crew. A great run tonight for the young driver. For Steve Burns and Bob Dillner, I'm Rick Benjamin. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Race Day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks from Hickory.
Always liked going fast. He's a real high-speed man, and he's won the world's fastest ever 500-mile race. Here goes the car for victory lane. The crowd on their feet to give him an ovation as he pulls in. Rock Yates awaiting him down there. They're rolling him back through the television tower. 2 hours, 48 minutes, 55 seconds the time. 29 lead changes among 7 drivers in the fastest 500-mile race in history. Buddy Baker defeating Bobby Allison in second. Neil Bonnet being reported unofficially in third. Dale Earnhardt for fourth. Benny Parsons for fifth. I don't believe that he lost a spot. We're waiting for further word on that, on the Neil Bonnet finish in car 21. And the car number 28 went in the wrong gate. There's the first mistake of the race. I wondered if they were going to go down and do a right-hander, but there was no way they could get through. So they've been here since 1961, and they never got a map to victory lane.
Well, that's the sort of mistake that you don't mind making when you've won the race. Look at that crew. Just look at that jubilant crew. What a night they're going to have, and especially Buddy Baker. He's such a nice guy. He's one of the gentlemen of the sport. He's a great big man, huge man, but as gentle as anything. But when he gets in that race car, he's a tiger, and he's wanted to win this race so badly for so long.
What a wonderful moment for his father, Buck Baker, who was one of the very first of the serious champions on the NASCAR Grand National Trail. Buck Baker, who was here today to see his son, Buddy, win it, and Buddy's own 2 children were part of his pit crew today, his 2 boys. One of whom was an all-A honor student in college now and a heck of a football player, and the other, of course, was a feature of our CBS program a year ago. Brian. Brock Yates standing by with Buddy Baker, who's taking his first true deep breath of the day. They say in the 500 you take 1 breath when it starts and you hold it for 500 miles. Baker unhitching the belts.
He looks absolutely nonplussed. He can't believe it's happened to him, I think.
Well, I saw him win at Talladega and be so overcome he was actually sick to his stomach after that fast race he ran there a few years ago.
He almost looks like he's crying to me now. He must be a very, very overjoyed man. It's one of his big goals.
Let's go to Brock Yates with the winner of the Daytona 500, Buddy Baker.
There he is.
Yeah.
18 years, babe. 18-year wait. You sure unloaded a lot of frustrations out there this afternoon.
Oh, my God. I'm just so... This one right here, I've tried so long. I've led so many times. I thought I had it made, and something always happened. Today, with 2 laps to go, I looked at the gas gauge, and it fell to 2 pounds. I said, oh, no, I know what's going to happen now. I'm going to coast up to the start-finishing line and never cross it. This car worked beautiful. I'd like just... Waddell Wilson and all the boys just did a great job, and right now I'd like to say a lot of things. I can't. I'm caught up in myself right now.
Buddy, was there at any time in the operation this afternoon when you had any doubts that this race car couldn't do it for you?
No, I knew the car was capable, and that even puts more stress on you, because when you really have a superior race car, it just you don't know what to do, you know. It's just out there running so well, and I dropped back one time and felt out the competition, run a few laps behind them, and when I got ready to go, I just went.
You just early in the race, we noticed you drop back into about third place, but that was just to kind of feel things out with everybody else.
Well, I had to know what I could do if I had to have a showdown, you know, running real hard there at the end, and it would go any time I wanted it to. I'm just real proud of the NAPA shock. Oh, geez.
Do you know?
I want to say the right thing. I know I'm going to leave everybody out.
Well, you know, you had a lot of time to think about it out there. You know, you weren't doing much racing near the end. You should have made up a really good speech.
Well, I didn't know where they were at, and I kept looking in the mirror, and I saw a car behind me, and it was Dave Marcus, but I didn't know exactly who it was right at the time, and, you know, I run a couple hard laps, and they kept telling me slow down in the pits, and I said, they're crazy. Somebody passed me if I slow down, but I didn't know I had such a lead. But
Brock Yates.
I have to give every bit of the praise to the race car and the crew.
Buddy, from all of us at CBS, our greatest congratulations.
Thank
Terrific.
you very much. I'm a pleased person.
Brock, does he know, is he aware that he's just run the fastest 500-mile race in the history of motorsports?
I was... well, it's going to be a little hard to get to him at this point.
And already they've grabbed him and taken him in another direction.
Buddy, do you know that that was the fastest 500 ever run?
Was that right?
Fastest 500 ever run.
Ever run?
Ever run.
Well, I won the new record back again. I had the record for a couple of years at Talladega, and now we got it back again for the Rainier. Rainier car has had it every time. Well, no, I won it first in Bud Moore's car again. But I tell you, if I could drive a race car like that, I'd run every day if I could get one prepared like that.
Buddy, were your fingers crossed like everyone else's were about fuel? So the interviews continue down in Victory Lane with the winner, Buddy Baker.
After 18 years, Buddy Baker finally won the Daytona 500, and he did it in typical Baker fashion, fast. Baker had a history of excelling on fast courses. In 1970 at Talladega, he became the first driver ever to run 200 miles an hour on a closed course. And this victory at Daytona was the fastest 500-mile race ever run, and is still the fastest Daytona 500 in history.
And the green flag is out. Side by side, wheel to wheel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400 from the Michigan International Speedway here on ESPN Classic. I'm John Kernan, along with Dr. Jerry Punch. Jerry, we're at Michigan, the 2-mile D-shaped oval. You've got the 19th race of the year. Alan Kulwicki, surprising young driver, is on the pole position. And look at the fact that Dale Earnhardt, going for his 5th title, qualified 26th. So he's starting back in the pack. Ricky Rudd is 108 points behind in 2nd place. He starts 12th. So neither of the top 2 in points are starting in the top 10. But as you said, it's Michigan. And, Johnny, you know, at Michigan, anything can happen. Wide open spaces. Sometimes gas mileage comes into play. A lot of room to pass. It doesn't make any difference where you start. It's where you finish up there. And Michigan, known for 3-wide racing because of the width and the turns and the straightaways. Always an exciting place for the Winston Cup guys to visit. So let's head out to Brooklyn, Michigan for the 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400. We were there, along with race announcers Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, and Ned Jarrett. The race has just gotten underway. 10 laps are complete. Mark Martin leads Alan Kulwicki and Jeff Bodine.
And here goes Kulwicki for the lead down in turn 1.
Trying to break the draft down low. He is pulling ahead of Mark Martin, about a half a car length. And now they're 4 wide through here. Look at this. Mark Martin has to get off the accelerator, getting high on the racetrack. But 3 abreast down the backstretch. Allison, then Jeff Bodine, and Alan Kulwicki as Mark Martin gets right on the back bumper of Davey Allison, and Allison takes the lead.
Pretty exciting stuff on Ned.
Well, that's just the way it used to be here at Michigan. It is always exciting to come here and see this wide racetrack. Ooh, they get a little bit close, Kulwicki and Jeff Bodine, but always good close races here.
It's a Ford formation up front. The first 4 are Fords, and then Ernie Irvan in the Chevy running in 5th position. There comes Rusty Wallace in the Pontiac as he's 6th. And the battle side by side for 2nd position once again is Jeff Bodine and Alan Kowicki as Davey Allison has grabbed the lead and now begins to move away a bit.
Yes, as these cars are running side by side, the same as it was a moment ago when Mark Martin was the leader. The leader is able to gain an advantage, and Kowicki gets in the corner too hard, slips up the racetrack, and loses 2 spots. And here comes Irvin trying to get by.
Once again, 3 abreast racing.
Well, I think that's what Davey Allison needed, was an opportunity. I mentioned earlier that his car might have been a little bit loose on the low side of the racetrack, but once he got in position that he could take the lead, then he could take off. That's exactly the way he did here in June. Once he got out front, he took off.
There's Dale Earnhardt, and look at the action up front once again.
Morgan Shepherd on the inside of Rusty Wallace. There's Kowicki that's going back. He got in the corner just a moment ago, slipped, and has lost 5 or 6 spots since then.
And there comes Morgan Shepherd up to challenge Ernie Irvan. Now, Dale Earnhardt, as we indicated, there was a little bit of smoke seen from that car. Jerry Punch has a report on that situation.
And Bob, just a moment ago, Earnhardt nearly tagged the wall. The car went all the way across the racetrack. Let's find out from Richard Miller. Richard, the car appears to be smoking just a little bit. What's the problem?
We think it's tire smoke because the car's been real loose ever since the start. We're going to try to get him in here and tighten it back up.
Well, again, it's about 10 or 12 degrees warmer today than it was yesterday, and the cars, a lot of them complaining of being awfully loose. Earnhardt among that bunch. Bob?
Dale is currently up into 20th position after starting 26th.
I expect we'll see a lot of drivers that'll call for some help when they make that first pit stop. The sun is shining here today. Really, on Friday, it was overcast, and then you know, it was not a real sunshiny day like it is today. And yesterday, it was cool and cloudy all day with rain. And now that they're out here running totally in the sunshine, the track will be looser, and I expect there are a lot of the race cars that'll be loose today.
The 1991 Champion Spark Plug 400 returns in a moment.
This is ESPN Classic.
Hi, I'm John Kernan with Dr. Jerry Punch. We welcome you back to ESPN Classic and the 1991 Champion Spark Plug 400 from Michigan International Speedway. As we've just seen, points leader Dale Earnhardt was having some problems, and sure enough, Earnhardt blew a tire, bringing out the first caution. And John, he would go to the garage area, and the crew realized they had to fix a trailing arm in the back of the car. Now, remarkably, with quick thinking and quick work, they would lose just 6 laps, which puts Earnhardt back on the racetrack. However, if Ricky Rudd wins it, well, I'll tell you what, if Earnhardt finishes 30th or worse, then Ricky Rudd will take over the points lead. So let's get back to the action out at the Michigan International Speedway. There are more than 40 laps complete. Davey Allison has taken the lead back from Morgan Shepherd.
And the 28 car, Davey Allison, our leader, is slowing.
He is slowing dramatically on the apron of the racetrack in turn number 3.
Understand that maybe he has a tire going down, Bob. It'll be an unscheduled pit stop, and he indeed is coming into the pits.
Look at this.
Where did Mark Martin come from? He wasn't even in the picture a moment ago.
And Wallace and Ernie Irvan are so close that you can hardly see between them. John Kernan is there with the Davey Allison pit stop.
They think that a left tire has equalized. They're not sure which one. They're going to change all 4 tires, so they will go ahead and fill him up with gas while they do have him in. Davey dominated the race here in June, as we've just seen. He has clearly had the fastest car, but they felt the vibration in the tire, and he had to come in. They did not want to take the chance that Earnhardt did and possibly blow a tire. Davey is down and away 4 new tires.
I don't think he's going to stay on the lead lap, as here comes the battle for the lead toward the stripe. That is Morgan Shepherd inside and Jeff Bodine outside, and Davey Allison does go a lap down.
If your favorite is a red Ford, you're doing real good today.
Jeff Bodine pulls the Junior Johnson prepared Budweiser car out front as the Motorcraft Ford is right there with him.
And you wonder why I talk about when the driver's handling so well on the bottom of the racetrack, why that's an advantage. because it's such a shorter distance around this racetrack. Bob said, how wide is the racetrack?
73 feet.
73 feet. So if you go down 60 feet and make the corner, you've decreased the distance a great deal.
Not a 2-mile track then, is it?
Exactly.
Back in the pack, meanwhile, some great racing still going on as Ernie Irvin leads this group of cars. There is Rusty Wallace and Gant and Schrader and Kulwicki.
Well, a couple of cars have gone to the garage. Rick Wilson in the Snickers Buick and Bobby Lavani in the Slim Jim Oldsmobile. Now, every time a car goes to the garage area, that helps Dale Earnhardt. He was back in 38th place after he came back out on the track. So, you know, his best situation going today is for a lot of cars to fall out. Stanley Smith is coming back out of the garage. He had gone in for a while in the Interstate Batteries car, but he's coming back on the track.
Now Ken Schrader moves down under Harry Gant, and Alan Kulwicki will come along, and Davey Allison is there with this group of cars.
Yeah, watch him come right through them. With those new tires on, he should be able to just mow right through them. And the leader's not too far in front of that pack of cars that he's going through there right now, so he might be able to catch them and get back in the lead lap.
It's going to be hard to mow through them if they don't get in line, but they're side by side.
He's got to have some running room, don't he?
He must be fuming there. He's got a car that's probably a second a lap faster than these fellas, and they run side by side. He's saying, well, he's going to try the middle.
He had a notion. He had a notion, but he said, no, that's not right.
Oh, yes, he did.
He really did. He wanted to go between those cars so bad you could just see it. It was like me looking at a big steak.
That's the best out of it.
I'm glad you admit it, though. That's We'll keep an eye on the racing here at Michigan International while we take another break. There goes Davey, finally getting around Ken Schrader.
The 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400 returns in a moment.
Daytona.
This is ESPN Classic. We now return to the 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400 on ESPN Classic.
This is by far the best run that Jeff Bodine has had this year. And it's an amazing thing because you think that emotionally that the team would be disturbed. But
I would think that Jeff, after having driven for Junior for the last couple of years, would very much like to give Junior a win before he steps out of this car.
You're exactly right. Not only for Junior, but for Jeff as well.
The racing has calmed down just a little after the first 60 laps were virtually run side by side. Many positions being contested 2, 3, 4, and even 5 abreast. But now we have been under green for several laps, and the field begins to get strung out just a little bit. On the left of your screen there was Dale Earnhardt, and for those of you just joining us, he is 6 laps down. And the action there in the pack, 6, 7, and 8, Wallace, Schrader, and Gant.
Now, Schrader was really coming up through the pack after he made the pit stop, but right now he's sort of settled in there. He must have used his tires up pretty good. There's Alan Kulwicki trying to make a pass on the 8th place car of Harry Gant. Can't quite do it.
A little further ahead of this group, the number 9 car of Bill Elliott runs in 3rd position, and there is Davey Allison as he again tries to get back to the front of the field and get his lap back. And it isn't totally impossible to lose a lap here and still end up winning the race.
Oh, no. This car, he's got a car that he can win the race today. He's going to need a couple of breaks, but
Rusty Wallace has done it before, and he's getting ever so much closer to the leaders. He is definitely gaining. I'm talking about Davey Allison. He is gaining on the 1st and 2nd place cars of Jeff Bodine and Morgan Shepherd. So if this thing stays green for a while, he'll be able to get back in the lead lap, in my opinion.
Davey Allison is in 30th position at the moment, a lap down. And look at this 2 abreast racing. That's Schrader and Harry Gant, Rusty Wallace, and right there is Dale Jarrett.
He's trying to figure out which one of these guys is going to be the best. And really and truly, it's not a factor which one's the best. It's which one can get to the corner and not slip. Now, Harry Gant's going to try to come down on the inside of Schrader. No, he decided to better than that.
And he made a good choice. But Harry has to back off going into the turns. Apparently his car has gotten loose and just not getting through the turns too good. They've had that. And here comes Alan Kowicki up on the outside of Dale Jarrett, but now Davey Allison is about to unlap himself. He has caught the leader, Jeff Bodine, in the Budweiser Ford.
Look at Harry Gant going from inside to outside.
And Kowicki has caught this bunch of cars, so and Schrader is on the outside.
And Davey Allison is about to get his lap back. We mentioned his slicing through the traffic. He is about to complete the cut here if he can get around Jeff Bodine and get back on the lead lap in the number 28 Haviland Ford. Not able to yet, as Jeff Bodine keeps him back there.
But he's going that short way around the bottom side of the racetrack. And one reason he can do that is he stopped these fellas. He has about 20 laps less on his tires than the other fellas do.
And Rusty Wallace almost got into Schrader a lap ago. Look at this.
Boy, they did get close together up there high on the racetrack.
And Harry Gant's diving for the grass. I know it's safe down there.
Get me out of here.
Pit stops will be coming up here very shortly, fellas.
Average speed of the race, 139.5 miles an hour. We've had one caution period for debris on the racetrack caused when Dale Earnhardt's right rear shredded, putting him 6 laps down.
And Dave Martins leaves the pit road after having a great run so far. Here comes Davey way down the inside. That's Mike Chase in the Copenhagen car, A.J. Ford's car.
Yep, carrying number 14.
And there comes our leader, Jeff Bodine.
The 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400 returns in a moment on ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
Welcome back to the 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400 on ESPN Classic. I'm John Kernan along with Dr. Jerry Punch. And Jerry, we're past the halfway point. We have seen Davey Allison get his lap back. And you know, with the horsepower that Robert Yates Fords produce, you know that Davey could be a factor as this race winds down.
Indeed, John. You look at Michigan International Speedway, it's a big, wide open D-shaped 2-mile oval, and horsepower is a major factor. And Yates, I mean, he definitely puts it under the hood, so Davey getting on back on the lead lap, you know he's going to be a huge factor. Jeff Bodine, one of the early leaders, had a problem, so he's out of contention, and Davey's roaring back.
All right, so that's where we stand. We've just finished our second caution, so let's get back to the race. We're ready to go green again. 140 laps done. Bill Elliott is the leader.
We are back to racing here at Michigan on lap number 141 as Bill Elliott leads Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Alan Kowicki, Ernie Irvin, and Dale Jarrett to the green flag. Now, Ricky Rudd, the 4th car there in your screen on the far right, is not on the lead lap. He is in 10th position.
Well, as long as you told you to tell that, Dale Jarrett was passed by Davey Allison for that 6th spot. So,
well, Davey is going to move up through the field, I have a feeling, because, again, he is back on the sequence of everybody else as far as pit stops. There's Allison there up the far left of the screen as Dale Earnhardt continues to struggle. For those of you just joining us, he is 7 laps down because of the problem very early in the race.
that's Davey on the black 28 on the inside of the Dick Trickle automobile, trying to get by Trickle. That's Dale Jarrett. He is in the lead lap. The Sitco Ford, and here comes Earnhardt. The Sitco in-car camera, the front bumper on Dale Jarrett's car, and look behind these fellas.
3 abreast again. Morgan Shepherd, Sterling Marlin, and Harry Gant are 3 wide coming down through the tri-oval here.
But Morgan Shepherd lost a lot of laps when he had a problem, spark plug or something. And there's Harry Gant trying to get on the inside of Dale Jarrett. Dale has chosen to follow Dick Trickle around there. And
spin up in turn 2 right behind these cars.
And 2 cars involved, 3 involved. I believe Joe Ruttman
is involved.
He hit whoever spun up there that's against the outside wall, and then somebody spun behind.
That's the 89 car, I believe, of Jim Sauter up against the wall. There it is.
The Evan Root sponsored car driven by Jim Sauter from Necedah, Wisconsin. Crashes up in turn number 2, and Joe Ruttman's Chevy Lumina is badly damaged in the front end.
I've been calling it an Oldsmobile. You're right, that is a Chevrolet.
It is a Lumina, yep. Here's the tail end of the spin as we see the safety crew rush to Jim Sauter's car.
We see it right behind. I saw Sauter. He just lost control for some reason. I don't think anyone was around him. He goes around and everything is okay till Joe Ruttman comes along, has no place to go, and really can't see anything in the smoke. And we see the car back behind spinning.
I don't know who that is. Maybe we can learn from this angle. There's a contact, Ruttman and Sauter, and a closer view of it there.
Whoever that white car was that spun back there, he really got lost in the smoke. And
yep, but kept going.
This is the first time this year that the Raymock team has run a Chevrolet. It was Oldsmobile. And we understand that Jim Sauter is out of the car number 89, the Evan Red Pontiac. So that's good news.
The 1991 Champion Spark Plug 400 returns in a moment on ESPN.
This is ESPN Classic.
We now return to the 1991 Champion Spark Plug 400 on ESPN Classic.
Pace car pulls off the fourth turn, and here comes the green flag. It's waving. We're back to racing, and you can see the poor start that Michael Waltrip is getting.
And of course, Harry Gant just drives right on around him. Now, does Harry want to get out there and run hard? And of course, he wants to lead a lap. For one thing, I don't think he has led. He might have during some of those pit stops. I don't know. But anyway, does he want to get out there and run hard and use up that gas? Of course, drafting is effective here, Benny, but it's not as much of a gas saver as it is at Daytona and Talladega.
No, it certainly isn't.
Morgan Shepard is not on the lead lap.
He's several laps down. He's trying to get one of those laps back. Has a very good race car, as we can see as he goes by our leader, Harry Gant.
Now, Gant has run 51 laps already one time today, so he's one of those that I think can make it. Dale Jarrett has run 50, so he should be able to make it. Kenny Schrader ran 56, but right now, he's not in contention for the win.
There comes Davey Allison.
He's in the middle of the pack, but working his way up. And behind him, the 3 car of Dale Earnhardt and the 5 car of Ricky Rudd. These guys first and second in the Winston Cup points, but neither of them having a particularly good day, as Ricky is 1 lap down and Dale is 7 laps down.
Dale currently being shown in the 28th position, and Rudd in the 12th position.
There goes Davey Allison trying to get by the Rusty Wallace car. Kenny Schrader direct in front. That's Dick Trickle in the gray 24. Davey staying right on the bottom of the racetrack. Car seems to be getting a good grip. The Schrader's on the inside.
Now Davey will look to the inside and pass by Dick Trickle. Here comes Wallace using the low groove. Now Allison right on the back bumper of Ken Schrader.
He got a bite off that corner and came off like a rocket ship.
Second place car is Mark Martin. Third is Elliott.
The 22 car on the inside, the blue car, Sterling Marlin, he's laps down.
And so is Ken Schrader.
They're just showing Sterling 1 lap down, fellas. He's in the 10th position, and Ken Schrader a lap down also in the 11th position.
Look at Davey's car work on the bottom of the track.
Here he comes trying to get by Schrader. He's not able to do it.
No, Schrader's going to beat him into the turn. He'll beat Sterling Marlin. Davey Allison will.
What happens when you go low in the corner like that? It takes your angle, your attack angle of the corner away, and you have to go in and make the car make such a sharp turn that it really doesn't want to make that turn. The car wants to push, so you have to back off dramatically when you go in the corner on the inside, as Davey Allison is right now. You need to go in real wide up against the outside retaining wall and come across the racetrack. Davey's not able to do that with other cars out there. Here again, Joe Bannon is our leader currently. And way back, Mark Martin running second, Bill Elliott third, and now Davey Allison has gotten by Schrader and is in 4th spot.
interval between Allison and the leader. Those out of the race include Stanley Smith and Bobby Labonte, Brett Bodine, Louis Spencer, and Rick Wilson. Jeff Bodine went by the wayside, so did Derry Cope and Darrell Waltrip. Sauter and Ruttman involved in a crash. And Bobby Hillen has gone behind the wall in number 42. 11 cars have dropped out.
Here's a race for third. Davey Allison pulls alongside Bill Elliott. He's a little bit ahead, but now Elliott has that angle I was talking about of entry into the corner. And that's why he can't get the momentum, but as he comes off the corner, he seems to get a pretty good bite and may get Elliott down the back.
And he pulls to the inside now, going down the backstretch.
Boy, he's got some horsepower, doesn't he?
He sure does. He's going to pass Elliott.
Because Elliott has a lot of horsepower, and he just motored right on by. But Elliott's not going to make it easy for him. Trying to come back up on the outside in the turn. Ooh, they're awfully close together.
Are they? Elliott way up by the wall. But Davey successfully completes the pass, and so he now is in third position behind Mark Martin and the leader of the Champion Sparkplug 400, Harry Gant. Back after this.
Racing for the best NASCAR races ever, then start your engines. Because every Sunday at 4, ESPN Classic is reinventing the wheel with 3 hours of smoke and pedal-to-the-metal mayhem. See the greatest names in NASCAR history gunning for victory lane. We're coming into your living room full throttle. So break out the Shasta. It's Classic NASCAR every Sunday at 4, only on ESPN Classic. Are you ready for life in the fast lane?
This is ESPN Classic.
The two battling side by side for second are Davey Allison and Mark Martin, but no longer, as Davey passes Mark rather easily, and now Allison, who has moved to second, sets his sights on Harry Gant.
Boy, he looks like a man on a mission, and that mission being right now Harry Gant.
Yeah, he's come up through traffic well. It's obvious the car's working well for him. The question is now, can he catch Harry Gant and pass him? Here's Harry Gant's serial. On the 20th lap, he was 12th. Lap 65, 8th. Dropped back to 11th on lap 135. And now at the end of 160 laps, he is the leader of the race. But that could change before too many laps because Davey Allison is coming on.
You know, we're fairly confident that Harry Gant can make it the rest of the way on the fuel. I'm not sure those two Fords, that one right there, Davey Allison, and one behind him, Mark Martin, I'm not sure they can make it on fuel. So it'd be a shame they get up and pass Harry Gant, but he'll have to stop 3 or 4 laps in the end for a splash of fuel.
The interval is less than 2 seconds now between Gant and Allison. Davey led more than half the laps of the race 8 weeks ago here at Michigan in claiming a victory.
Pretty conservative groove around the racetrack. He's not getting too low, nor is he getting up against the wall too high. 1.1 interval that time.
Boy, he picked up quite a bit, didn't he?
He did pick up
8/10 of a second.
Allison has won 3 times this year in Winston Cup competition at Charlotte, on the road course at Sonoma, and here at Michigan. And Harry Gant has won 1 time. That was at Talladega in the fuel mileage race that we brought you live here on ESPN.
You sure you did that button right a little bit ago, Bob? We better check this again. I'm not sure you did that right.
I think I was a little slow on the first one. I don't run the button. You're trying to blame something else on me that isn't my fault.
Wow.
But somebody has to.
If I tell those people that's listening, they'll... Oh. Here's Harry Gant. Now let's check it. 1.1 a second ago, and now it's 0.6. Yes. So he gained a half a second that lap.
Jerry Punch is with Harry Gant's crew chief.
Bob, here in the Skull pit, they had 2 concerns, the 2F, fuel and Ford. Let me ask you first, Andy Petrie, on fuel, can you make it the rest of the way?
Well, you know, fuel's a big concern right now, but I guess the biggest concern is the Ford. They've been on the phone here today. And, you know, like I told you a while ago, we'll take advantage of this airtime while we're leaving. That 28 car bill was seeming pretty good right now. You know, I just hope for a good finish. Looks like 28's got everybody covered today.
Well, that Ford he's talking about is Davey Allison, and he's about 2 car lengths behind him. Let's check in his pit where John is standing by with Larry McReynolds.
Larry is talking
to Davey right now. We've watched Davey come to the field. Well, now Davey back on the radio in constant communication. We've watched Davey come to the field. Obviously, a lot of horsepower, but you got to burn a lot of gas to get that horsepower. Can he go the rest of the way?
Well, that's what we're talking about. We're trying to figure out whether to draft off again or go on by him. We're about 2 or 3 tenths quicker than he is. Feel like if we go on and get by him, you know, we can conserve a little more fuel when we get out there. So we'll just see what happens. It's going to be close.
Can you run easier in front of Harry or behind him?
Easier in front of him.
There's Larry McReynolds, the crew chief, and Davey as he crosses the start. Has indeed taken over the lead.
Yes, he has. Davey Allison has gone to the front. Now Gant is second and Martin third.
Here's Dale Jarrett trying to take over the 6th position from Ernie Urban. He's come from a way back. He passed Alan Kowicki a few laps ago, drove away from Alan. Now Jarrett's Ford, the Citgo Ford, is really working down on the inside of the racetrack. Ooh, he's about to slip up into Urban that time by, though. It cost him a little bit of time. But he's really been able to go low in the track, and that is the way that he's moving towards the front.
Dale had a big announcement this week, didn't he, men?
Yep, they made it official about the Joe Gibbs team for next year. Interstate Batteries will be the sponsor on their Chevrolets that they'll run, number 18. NFL Properties will be an associate sponsor. Juice Bowl will be an associate sponsor, and Marriott Hotel. So they have a complete package.
Well, that is great news. And right now, he's looking very, very good as he tries desperately to get by. And that's the thing that's killing Dale right now, is just the line he has to take the entry into the corner. It's just not wide enough to be able to get back on the gas or get in the corner well enough to pass Ernie.
Jarrett has had 3 top 10 finishes in a row. He was 6th at Pocono, 8th at Talladega, and 5th last weekend at Watkins Glen, and is headed for another one today.
I tell you, the Wood brothers have done a great job in coming back. Looks like he's got Urban this time around as he slides up in front of him. But they've really been working hard. They perhaps have gotten a little behind at one time, but they have come on strong recently. And the fact that Dale is leaving them at the end of the year has not slowed. In fact, the biggest thing, they're all working together better than they ever have. They want to win, and Dale would certainly like to give them a win before he leaves them at the end of this year.
More or less from John Kernan.
Well, Ned, you're talking about how they continue to work and how Dale, even though he's leaving the team, is continuing to work. Yesterday afternoon during the ARCA race and the rain delay, I was standing over talking to Eddie Wood. Well, Dale comes running over, and he wants to talk about using a different type of sway bar. He was taking a nap in the trailer, resting, and all of a sudden he got an idea. It woke him up. He came to check with Eddie, and they did change sway bars in that last practice session to try it out. So that just goes to show you how dedicated Dale is to the team, and he really would like to take them to victory lane before he leaves.
And one of the big questions about 1992 becomes, since Dale is leaving the Wood brothers, who will take over that car, and that remains a mystery at the moment, but some kind of an announcement may be made in the next few weeks.
And these fellows are, as they race side by side, looks like they might even be catching Bill Elliott, who is directly in front of them. Elliott is currently running in 4th spot. There he is on the outside of Schrader, and Elliott's car just not going like it has been.
You're watching the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place cars. Elliott's 4th. Wallace is 5th. Now Jarrett might have 5th. Just barely gets a nose out in front of him.
The only car not on the lead lap in this group is Ken Schrader there on number 25. Davey Allison continues to lead in second.
You're right, he does. You're right, Bob. I'm sorry. That's 2nd place car, Harry Gant.
Thank you. Allison leads. Gant is 2nd. Mark Martin is 3rd.
The 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400 returns in a moment on ESPN Classic. How do you get rid of ugly stains on ceiling tiles? You simply spray them away. Incredible? It's true with Instagon. Just spray it on and the stain is gone. No scrubbing, no rubbing. This textured ceiling is almost impossible, but Instagon gets rid of the problem in no time. Amazing! Don't scrub bathroom tiles. Even that grungy caulking comes sparkling clean with Instagon. What about stucco? Instagon gets into all those crevices and dissolves the grime away. It removes years of soot from fireplace walls and cleans PVC lawn furniture without any scrubbing. Ugly mildew? Gone in seconds. Instagon works safely, works instantly on all these surfaces, and it's yours for only $19.95. But call now and get 2 for $19.95. Order now. To order Instagon, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-931-4500 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen or call 1-800-931-4500.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love. Introducing a winning fitness strategy. You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism.
Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
Look at Pearl dribbling. Pearl stops and makes it in. Showing it all. It's inside of 20 seconds on a 45-second clock. The Pearl goes to work. He's got it.
Absolutely sensational.
Soccer fans, get ready for great MLS action. When you order MLS ESPN Shootout, you'll get up to 100 matches you can't see anywhere else. So bring the action home. Order now. Call your cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
This is ESPN Classic.
Welcome back to ESPN Classic. I'm John Kernan with Dr. Jerry Punch. We are getting set for the finish of the 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400 from Michigan. We've seen Davey Allison come back from a lap down and lead this race. He looks set to stay there until debris on the track brought out the fourth caution on lap 187. Everybody comes on to pit under the yellow flag, but Jerry, we see varying pit strategies.
John, we saw a lot of guys come in and take on 2 tires. I was in Davey Allison's pit. They decided to come in and take on 4 tires. Why would you take on 4 tires? Well, you got that much horsepower. You wanted it hooked up to the ground to be able to get off the corner. Why not put 4 fresh tires on you, figuring you got the motor, now you got the freshest tires, you're going to be the man to beat, you're probably going to be tough to beat. But you were in Dale Jarrett's pit, and they had a whole different philosophy.
Exactly. They came into the pits. They were running in the 4th spot. Eddie Wood talked to DJ during the caution before they came onto pit road. They decided that was their best set of tires. They decided to go for track position. They took fuel only and no tires. So it's time for the restart. Let's get back to the race and see how this one turns out.
We're going back to green, guys. We sure are. There are 9 laps to go. 191 laps completed. Boy, look at this. They fan out 3 and 4 wide as they head for turn number 1, and Dale Jarrett has the lead of the race. Mark Martin second and Davey Allison third.
We're going to see how much of an advantage those new tires are. Dale Jarrett did not change. Martin did. Let's see if he can hold them off. And can Mark Martin hold off Davey Allison?
Look at Allison. Allison goes inside of Mark Martin, and he's going to pass Martin with ease. And now he sets his sights on the leader, Dale Jarrett.
That's the break that what he needed for. He needed those guys to race. He needed for Davey and Mark to race. And look, Davey Allison gets too high, and he and Mark Martin touch. And here comes Rusty Watt. Now, this is what Dale Jarrett needs.
Yeah, to let them bang around back there on each other.
Boy, Davey got way up high on the wall. Here comes Ernie Irvin to the inside.
And Mark Martin looks like he's off the pace.
Well, Davey Allison passed on the inside and then went to the outside of the racetrack and got in trouble as the car came off the 4th corner. Look how high he is.
Davey got in the corner too hard, went up. Mark Martin was trying to get by. He touches Davey in the left rear. Now, he has to jump out of the throttle, and that's why he slowed down so dramatically.
Boy. All right. Now, it is Dale Jarrett, Davey Allison, and Rusty Wallace, first, second, and third.
Boy, they're running flat out now.
7 laps to go. This is the bumper cam. Dale Jarrett's car. Nothing in front of him. Clear sailing. But right behind him is Allison as he charges to the back bumper of Dale Jarrett's car.
That's Rusty Wallace. The black car in the middle is Rusty Wallace. And Dale Jarrett is doing his car, doing a great job on those tires with 30-35 laps, as John Kernan reported.
Allison hangs back. Big pack of cars behind the first 3.
Flexible metal frame. Flex On by Marchon.
If you want to see the greatest uncut fights of all time, you've got to watch ESPN Classic. Now experience boxing's most unique show, an exclusive look inside the ring with the champ, Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray's Hit Parade. He'll take you through historic battles and give you the inside story behind every hook, jab, and knockout from fights that are totally uncut. Sugar Ray's Hit Parade. Tuesday at 9, only on ESPN Classic.
So close to the action, you got to duck.
Are you old school?
This is ESPN Classic.
Martin and Gant and several others are following. They're still 3 abreast, battling for position.
I'll tell you, I've been surprised that Dale's been able to stay out there that long with those tires. The Wood Brothers made a good call. Made a very good call.
Is Dale Jarrett headed for his first Winston Cup victory of his career?
Could very well be.
He only has 5.5 laps to go.
His best finish was a 4th at Atlanta last year, the last race of the season.
He's holding off the challenge of Davey Allison. When they come down, it'll complete 195 laps.
Now, remember, we talked about no winner out of the top 10. Dale started in 11th.
Yep. And he could break that string. But Davey, of course, started in 3rd position, and he would like to continue it.
The one advantage that Dale Jarrett has is he's running in the same tracks that Davey Allison wants to run in, where Davey's been running all day. Both those cars hanging on the bottom of the racetrack, and Davey's not able to find his favorite spot to run in. He's trying to go high, but we saw a moment ago his car just does not work up there like he wants it to.
Now he gets up there, Dale gives him some room, or does he give him some room? No, he puts him right back out there. I'll tell you one lady that's going crazy down in North Carolina is Kelly Jarrett. She's experienced Dale's wife. She's a competitive individual.
And I'll tell you what, in the years that I've worked with this guy sitting next to me, Ned, I don't think I've ever seen him quite as handsome as he is right now. The last win, by the way, for the Wood Brothers was in May of 1987 when Kyle Penny drove their car to a victory in the World 600. Now there is Harry Gant and Bill Elliott.
That's a race for 5th.
Dicing for that 5th position, as behind him, Alan Kawicki and Ernie Irvin are also fighting it out for a spot.
The 2-car Rusty Wallace, the only non-Ford product in the top 5.
3 laps to go.
Ned, I believe he's going to pull it off.
I don't know. I'm holding my breath. I don't know if I'm going it that long or not.
I want you to say something, Ned, so you can breathe.
We understand that Davey Allison's car has developed a push. Is that right, Jerry?
That's exactly right. Davey's got a bad push in the car, and he's having trouble getting the car turned coming off the corners, and Dale Jarrett is taking the inside lane away. Guys, it's going to be a shootout.
It sure is. When they come down, there'll only be 2 more laps to go. 4 miles of racing. Allison looks to the outside. He falls in behind Dale Jarrett, and they're still separated by about 3 or 4 car lengths. The Wood Brothers, by the way, are the all-time winners in terms of car owners with 10 victories here at this racetrack. Allison closes in even tighter. It's now down to a car length and a half. They go on to the backstretch and a spin, a car blowing an engine in turn number 2. Dave Marcus with a big puff of smoke. Is this going to bring out the caution? I doubt it. But boy, that would assure things for Dale Jarrett.
Well, if he can get back to the start-finish line first.
Here comes Davey to the outside. He's going to try this pass again. It got him in trouble earlier. They both slide up the racetrack, and here they come for the white flag. 1 more lap to go, and Allison has a slight advantage on Jarrett as they head for turn number 1.
But remember, Dale's been going well on the inside. Does he have the right line, though, Bob?
Davey Allison keeps his car in the middle of the racetrack. Dale Jarrett's car is on the low side. Off the 18 degrees of banking, they go down on 5 degrees of banking, and Dale Jarrett wiggles a little bit as they come out of the second corner. They bump, they touch, they rub, going down the backstretch, side by side, wheel to wheel. Who is it going to be in the Champion Spark Plug 400? Jarrett has the slight advantage as they go into the 3rd and 4th corners. Davey Allison battles back on the outside. It's going to be a photo finish. They touch coming down through the tri-oval at the line. Who wins it? I believe Jarrett does. All right. Oh, wow. Dale Jarrett won it, but it was a photo finish. He didn't win by more than 4 or 5 inches.
I tell you, fellas, when he wins his first one, I want him to do it that way, racing for it.
And he waves to Davey Allison saying, nice race.
Thanks, man.
Direct from AutoVitel.com. Auto financed by, auto insured by, auto delivered by AutoVitel.com.
Football Classics, Wednesdays at 9, only on ESPN Classic. Are you old school?
This is ESPN Classic.
Wow. Dale Jarrett, his first Winston Cup victory.
All right, here they come. Off of turn 4, Allison on the outside, Jarrett on the inside. Both of them with the pedal to the metal. They touch coming off of the turn. Did that slow Jarrett down too much? No, he gets a bite down on the inside and barely gets to the start-finish line first. Glad he did it again.
Well, it's just another race.
You was afraid he was going to lose it on the replay, right?
Yeah, I played so.
Wow, what a finish.
Oh, boy. Let's get out of John Kernan. He's with Eddie Wood.
I tell you, he doesn't look it now, but Eddie, just a minute ago, you were about 10 feet off the ground. It's been a while, about 4 years.
It's been a long time coming. I'd just like to say thanks to Larry Britton and people at Citgo. They stuck with us through all the stuff we've been through. Up and down, it didn't matter. Ford stayed with us. We got a decent car here today. We had a good body on it. Cromhauser out of Charlotte did the body. Everything just went good, and I know you're watching, Larry.
You know, the Wood brothers long had a tradition of a great pit crew, great pit strategy, and that really helped Dale get to the front today on that last pit stop, fuel only.
Well, the way it all turned out, the only set of tires we had all day was the very last set, and I asked him on the radio, I said, you're probably the quickest you've ever run since we started to race, you know, let's just stick with it. He said, that's fine with me, whatever you want to do, because we was already going to gamble on the fuel. So we was gambling on that too, but, you know, you roll them, sometimes they come up 7. So.
Hey, let's go to Atlantic City. Go on down to Victory Lane, Eddie.
Dale Jarrett wins the Champion Spark Plug 400 and picks up his first Winston Cup win. Here's his reaction as he crossed the line, looking to the right to Davey. He says, I've got this thing. All right. And there is Happy Papa. And again, Ned, from all of us here in the broadcast booth, and I know everybody down on the truck, and a lot of well-wishers around the world, really, congratulating you and your son, Dale Jarrett, on a fine, fine victory here this afternoon.
Well, I tell you, I didn't have anything to do with it unless pulling helped. But he drove a great race.
He sure
they gave him a great race car and made a good call there at the end. The Wood brothers didn't win all those races. They won by just
Here's Jerry Punch.
Is this young man happy? Look at him getting hugged and congratulated. My goodness, what a celebration, Dale. Congratulations as all the crew comes in. Congratulations on a tremendous effort.
Well, thank you. First of all, let me say, Kelly, I love you. I'm sorry you couldn't be here for the first one, but Dad, I'm glad you got to see it here. But next thing, these Wood brothers are something else, aren't they? They did a great job. What a call there at the end. The car, that was the fastest that the car had been, and best it drove, and they said, let's leave those tires on, just give a splash of gas, and that's what won me the race. Appreciate Davey. I raced him awfully hard there. I hope he understands that's the first one, and I wanted it awfully bad, but, you know, thanks to Citgo, give me this opportunity. Ford, I certainly appreciate everything they've done for me, and these guys are just great.
Young man so emotional he can hardly talk. And Dale, the last couple of laps, there was some bumping out there. And tell us about your thoughts coming off turn 4 on that last lap. You can see the checkered flag getting ready to wave, and he had you by half a car length.
Yeah, he did. He got off the corner there. I thought maybe that I could run him out of racing room up there, but you know, as good a driver as Davey is, he just held his own there. I tell you, this engine in this Ford here really ran good, and you know, I'm just as happy as I can be right now. Somebody I've got to thank that helped me along the way a lot. Two people, John Irvin, the crew chief on my other car that brought me up, and Horace Eisenhower that owns the Busch Grand National car. That if it wasn't for him and my dad, probably wouldn't be here. But thanks to everybody back in Hickory. We'll have a big party when we get there.
I guarantee there'll be party in North Carolina tonight. Dale Jarrett gets a big hug from Len Wood, Eddie Wood. The Wood brothers have made the call, and the young man has gone to victory lane for the first time.
He is the first-time winner of 1991, and he is the first driver ever to win a race here at Michigan out of the top 10. He started in 11. Congratulations to Dale Jarrett.
I think, Jerry, that it had to be an emotional victory for everybody, not just us because, you know, we know the Jarretts, we work with Ned, but everybody over the country to see a father-son combination. Ned up in the booth watching his son win his first Winston Cup race. And you were in victory lane, so you experienced it firsthand.
John, it was very, very special for me. I grew up in the small town of Newton Conover, North Carolina, the hometown for the Jarretts. And although I'm not related to the Jarretts, it's almost like I'm a part of the family. Ned and Martha have almost been like a second set of parents to me. And I grew up around Dale Jarrett and his older brother Glenn, who was also a pretty good race driver in his own right. And I watched Dale Jarrett when he ran his first late model stock car race. At the very beginning at Hickory Speedway, I was involved in a small way in him getting involved in the Busch Grand National Series. So to be in victory lane and to see him try to climb out of that car, overcome with emotion, shaking, the tears coming down his face, and he turns to the camera and says, "Kelly, I love you," I almost couldn't talk, John, because it was true emotion. It was what sport is all about.
Well, I remember being in the pit right after he took the checkered flag. Eddie Wood jumped off the pit wall, started hugging me, and I'll let you in on a little secret and all of you at home, because in those last 10 laps, we had reported on the air that Davey Allison's car was a little bit tight. Eddie Wood asked me, he said, "Do you know what Davey's car is doing?" I said, "Yeah, it's pushing a little bit." So Eddie got on the radio, told DJ, keep Davey on the outside. So, Jerry, sometimes, you know, I feel a little bit responsible for DJ's first win. I didn't mean to do it that way. It just turned out that way.
And what a preview to the future of NASCAR Winston Cup racing. We see Davey Allison and Dale Jarrett coming off turn 4, and that would just sort of be the beginning of many, many battles down the road in the future of Winston Cup.
For Jerry Punch, I'm John Kernan. Thanks for joining us for the 1991 Champion Sparkplug 400. ESPN Classic returns with more in a moment.
This is ESPN Classic, the Classic Sports Network.
Tomorrow night, Oklahoma State kicks off the 1988 football season. The big question in Stillwater, can kick returning Wizard Barry Sanders replace All-American Thurman Thomas in the backfield?
Sanders takes it 1 yard deep in the end zone. Up the middle, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He's at the 40. He's at 45, 50, 45, 40. Pitch to Sanders, sweeping left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Cowboys. Sanders sweeping right. 20, 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys. There's the NCAA record touchdown. Welcome to the 1988 SeaWorld Holiday Bowl at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. The Cowboys are the story tonight. Oklahoma State against Wyoming.
It's a cool evening in San Diego. Welcome with Kevin Kiley. I'm Bob Carpenter. Settle in for what may be a long and very offensive show here in college football this evening. And Kev, if you look at the statistic sheet, the clubs look very similar, but the style of these two teams is very different.
Yeah, they are very different, Bobby. They both get in the end zone quite a bit, but if you look at the Wyoming team, it's a mature team, a true team, offensively and defensively. They don't have great players. They just accomplish great things. Maybe the best player on the team is Randy Welniak, and he's a quarterback who's come off rotator cuff surgery. So they do it by being well coached by Paul Roach, and they do it very well. Oklahoma State on the other side. Defensively, well, this is a team that's young, and they've made a lot of mistakes this year, and they've had their problems defensively. Offensively, they're supported, and they do very well by a tremendous offensive line and 3 superstars. Hartley Dykes, Mike Gundy, the quarterback, and then a little guy with the trophy under his arm, Barry Sanders. A lot of points at track meet tonight.
And a lot of wins. The two teams are combined 20-3 on the season so far. Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Charlene Hawks.
Thanks, Bob. This bowl game is obviously important to both teams, but for different reasons. Wyoming is once again back at the Holiday Bowl, and they remember the disappointing loss of last year. Paul Roach says that he senses urgency from his players, especially his seniors. They're not just glad to be here. They want to win to cap off the season. Plus the fact that the last time they were on national TV, they were badly embarrassed from Houston, and Paul Roach is using that as a motivational tool. OSU, on the other hand, has not been on TV very often, and here's a chance for them to shine as a team, especially considering that the NCAA has stated that in a few days it will be releasing probationary sanctions against OSU for recruiting violations, and that means for a lot of the players, and not just the seniors, this could be their last bowl appearance or TV appearance for that matter for quite some time. Bob?
We welcome you back to Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, where a sellout crowd is gathering for the Cowboys of Oklahoma State and Wyoming getting together here tonight. Of course, we have the Heisman Trophy winner, Barry Sanders, here in the ball game tonight. But as Kevin Kiley reports, there's a whole lot more than Sanders to Oklahoma State.
The Oklahoma State Cowboys have a pair of thoroughbreds in Hartley Dykes and Mike Gundy. Gundy is the Pokes' all-time leading passer, Dykes the all-time receiver. And this year they hooked up for 74 receptions and 14 touchdowns. But the guys who make it possible are the 5 fifth-year seniors on the offensive line and fullback Garrett Lindbrook. On this play, watch the blocks by Lindbrook and left guard Chris Stanley. And away goes Barry Sanders. On defense, opponents ran wild on the Pokes, but they did manage to force 35 turnovers. The Cowboys of Wyoming also boast a potent offense. Quarterback and WAC Player of the Year Randy Welniak accounted for 35 touchdowns, including a league record 14 on the ground. He will throw to several wide receivers, but most often to leading receiver Freddie Doucette, the Cowboys' possession man. The ground game is spurred by 1,000-yard rusher Dabby Dawson. He averaged 7.6 yards per carry and scored 9 touchdowns. The defense is bolstered by a super quick front four. The Cowboys will stunt and twist to offset their lack of size. And in 1988, they recorded 62 sacks.
4 all-WAC performers up front for the Cowboys of Wyoming. But, Kevin, does it mean anything against the big 3 of Oklahoma State?
Well, we're in for a lot of points there. Nobody's stopping nobody in this game. They're going to be Cowboys running all over the place. The Wyoming defense is a stunning, stemming type of a defense. And what that does is it opens up seams just naturally. And what Barry Sanders does for Oklahoma State so well is he finds seams. Barry will get his 200 yards tonight, and he'll be a tremendous, he'll have a tremendous impact on this game. But I believe the key to the game will be Hartley Dykes, because I think both teams are going to score a lot of points, and the wide receiver, the tremendous wide receiver for Oklahoma State, will be a big factor late in the game. Let's go to the Oklahoma State defense. They've had problems all year because they're young and inexperienced. They have problems identifying formations, and that's what Wyoming does best. They'll use multiple formations. They'll confuse Oklahoma State, use a lot of short passes, and they're going up and down the field. So cinch it up. You should see a tremendous ball game and a lot of points.
Interesting about Oklahoma State, they used to be so great defensively, and now things have turned around for the offense. And from Stillwater, Oklahoma, the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. From Laramie, Wyoming, the Cowboys of Wyoming.
Busy morning
we've got you covered. Burger King has delicious new pancake minis. Light buttermilk silver dollar pancakes with rich syrup so you can dip them and eat them on the go. Just 99 cents for a limited time. Only at Burger King.
It's a new concept in light beer. 103 calories from different walks of life, coming together for the sake of the team. Introducing crisp, easy drinking Beck's Light.
This weekend, Enterprise Rent-A-Car announces special low rates from just $9.99 a day. Friday till Monday from just $9.99 a day. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Here comes that heartburn again. It happens time after time. You've changed your diet. You've tried to treat it, but the pain keeps coming back 2 or more days a week. That frequent, persistent heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease, potentially serious. It's Prilosec time. Time to see your doctor about America's most prescribed acid control medicine. Your results may vary, but for many people, one daily dose of Prilosec provides 24 hours of complete heartburn relief. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. 24 hours of complete heartburn relief is possible with the purple pill they call Prilosec.
Nights in white satin.
Imagine owning all your favorite AM radio hits for just $12.99. Presenting AM Gold. 43 fantastic hits for an unbelievable $12.99.
In a little while from now, I'm not feeling any less sound. Last night, I didn't get to sleep at all. No.
AM Gold. 43 of your best-loved hits. More than 2 full hours for just $12.99 on 2 compact discs or 2 double-length cassettes.
Me and Mrs. Jones. Just to know that's a love song.